I'm not talking about Declan Rice. I'm talking about your boy Banton because he is late, but we are not. That's right. You got it. We are back in the saddle. Welcome to the No Randoms podcast. You got your boy Kev. You got your boy Shad. And without a further ado, summer break is over. Shad, what have you been playing, my guy?
Bro, I feel like I'm the luckiest person alive when it comes to playing video games. To start, EA 20 or is it FCEA 24, whatever it's called, sent
whatever
me
that,
whatever.
FIFA.
They sent me a code, so I got early access to like the entire game. So I've been playing pro clubs, I've been playing seasons, I've been playing the career.
You got a club without me?
I'm sorry?
You got a club without me?
Just drop-ins.
You got mad skill points?
Not much. Not much.
All right, go on. Clubs, career.
And then that's been nice. And then seasons obviously is like my bread and butter. And then on the other end, I've been playing Starfield. I got early access to that as well. Early access boy. I bought the premium, so it gives you 5 days of just early access. And I've been playing it, and I've been loving that. But I'll save that for later.
How much did that premium run you, my boy?
$100.
$100. Wifey was just asking me last night. My wife was like, "How much does that cost?" We were this morning actually. We were talking about Mortal Kombat, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, it's out on the 19th of pre-order on the 14th, and you get early access." And she's like, what? Make it make sense." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. Don't worry about it.
It'll be loaded up,
man."
What about you, bro? What have you been playing?
I've been playing not Starfield. I hit the download. I'm touching the PC monitor right here, but I did do the pre-download. So actually, let me check on that. Make sure Make sure the download is complete because I think it comes on tomorrow. We're recording on Sunday, right at the end of the United Arsenal match, which is painful. If you guys can see a little bit of Mikel Arteta. But either way, yes, I've got Starfield fully downloaded. That I'm hyped for. And what have I been playing? A little bit of FIFA. Actually, a lot of FIFA. I got to be honest. I'm so hyped for the game. I'm so hyped for Shad's reacting. He's ahead of me in the match. Where I'm looking at Arsenal's on a break. Gabriel Jesus just broke, scored on Onana again, 3-1 Arsenal via Manchester City and Mikel Arteta. That's like a double pain because your rival City scored on you through Arsenal. Oh, yeah. You heard it here from us first, although we're recording this a day early.
First, but early.
That's pain. Pain for your boy. You knew it when they put 8 minutes on. Oh, Garnacho. Where are they playing? Are they at...
They're at the Emirates? They're at Emirates.
Okay, because if this was at Old Trafford, I
wouldn't be on this podcast today.
Oh, the pain. All right, well, Jesus is back. I guess we'll take it. We wanted a draw, but you guys heard it here first on our sports podcast. Manchester United continues to do Manchester United things. I've been playing, again, FIFA. Like I was saying, I'm jealous and extremely hyped that you got the access code. And if you've been listening to the pod, Shad has been grinding FIFA. You've mentioned it so many times. So again, congrats, well earned. And I think if there was any code, like this is maybe the second year in a row, actually, I didn't get a code. I've been pretty busy. But if there was any year to get an early access code, this is the year. That's sick. It's the new game. So again, proud of you. Hats off. And good work on behalf of the pod, man. We needed that. I have been playing FIFA to get ready. I've also been playing Zelda, as everybody knows. Other than that, I've been wild busy playing fantasy football. Is that a game? Does that count as a game? It's gamified.
I think if Dungeons and Dragons is considered a game, that's considered a game.
God, yes. Yes, that's my boy. And that's only the first time I've ever considered the fact that fantasy football is like sports Dungeons and Dragons. So a little bit nerdy. I'll take it. That's why we're here. Finally, though, I did want to drop or add, I guess not what I've been playing because I didn't play it at all this week, although I'd like to. But I did get a chance to pop by Champs for Valorant. You know what I mean? The celebs came out, the influencers, the curators. Elon Musk was there. Ben Affleck was there. Your boy Kev was out there. The heavy hitters only. I don't know what the fuck. It's around the corner. So I pulled up and I was doing some work with Riot. That's for another time. We were doing some work. So we checked out Valorant, Jarrell and I. If you heard our COD episode, I gotta bring Jarrell back on. But Jarrell and I popped down to watch Champs, and it was a blast. My story always, you have to go and see the real esports games. You have to go see them live to understand it. Like that's like saying, have you heard anyone say that about hockey? You have to see it live.
Yeah.
Like watching hockey on TV is not for me. Watching baseball on TV, not the best. Going to a game is awesome. Same thing for me for esports. You have to really immerse yourself. You start to learn the stories of the people so quick. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that guy's a show off. That guy's the underdog. That guy's a leader. I mean, I was there for 4 hours and I could go on and, yo,
There he is.
there he is.
Hey.
Oh, brother, this guy
Oh,
stinks!
you know what? Gotta be honest, I fucked it. I should played this one.
Are you wearing a Yellowstone shirt right now?
What that is?
Yeah, bro. I got this for you.
Wow.
I like Anton has such a very specific and unique swag right now. Kith,
I also got this
Yellowstone.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh no. He's got them
Fuck
fighting
off.
words.
Fuck off.
for you. Ah!
Anton said, I will be late to the pod right after extra time finishes. He pulls
I'm going to
up.
come in hot.
Bro, I was sitting there changing and I just hear yelling and I run in the room and it was the second goal and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting there like getting everything ready, holding Zoe, and I was like, all right, I gotta go. Call it Anthony. And then they got the counter and got the third, and I lost it. Like, oh my god,
Man.
sorry.
No, we were enjoying that together again. I think it's funny. I saw Garnacho's goal first, and I saw it get wiped off before Shad. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then he saw the next two goals before me. So, yeah, we just enjoyed that. And when you hear the pod back, you'll hear that. But welcome in, my boy. You did not miss much.
Man.
We're still in the what have you been playing. I was just wrapping up telling Shad that I went down, the big heavy hitters pulled up to Valorant Champs in LA. And
Yeah,
that,
that looked crazy.
Bro, I always keep saying, and we have to get to a match sometime soon. Checking out the esports live, you just don't understand it until you see it there. I was telling Shad I was there for like 4 hours, and I left like I know so many stories. I know so many teams now. Like Loud is from Brazil, and they had this one dude who's like a little bit older. He's like 21, a little bit older than the other guys on the team, and he's been to a champs before. He's like trying to lead the underdog team back to the top. There's the team that's got the little tiny Asian guy who's the front team, and they all love him. Either way, I learned Fnatic has this one dude, this like white kid that was really bad at dancing, but is like a big show off. He like came out doing these terrible dance moves, but he couldn't like not show off. They were down like 8-1 at one point in time, and the camera just zooms into his face, and they're all so upset, they're getting smoked, and the camera just stops on him, and he's like, fuck it. And he just starts dancing. Like you can tell he just is like an influencer TikTok kid. And the crowd was going nuts. Like they loved that kid. Right? Yeah, right. He plays the Fortnite guy. The traveling fans for Loud from Brazil go nuts. It was the Americas Championship. So they had like their own section up there, like cheering, and they were doing chants and shit like a soccer match. So either way, it was a blast. Valorant Champs was amazing, and I was a fan of the game, but I'm again even more charmed. And I think the future, this is weird for me to say, the future of esports is kind of healthy. I think the games have to get harder. I was talking about that. Maybe we'll get into it later, but for again another game like Valorant, which is one I don't play, it's way more enjoyable to watch it. The same way I don't play football or soccer, baseball. So that's me, Banton. What have you been playing, my boy? How has summer break been?
Oh man, it was good. Honestly, it's nice to be back in the swing of things. Be back in work and talking to people like adults and shit. You know what I mean? Not just,
You were on
kids
daddy
and
leave.
Yeah, dude.
Fair
I don't know
enough.
if you guys have ever had 2 months off of work, but that'll throw you in a loop. I don't know.
Right.
Just when you start to get comfortable, you got to get back into it. And that's when like you're like, oh shit. but
Your
it's
workman
cool,
had
man.
nothing to do. You must have been bored.
Honestly, I was just being on just straight parent time is. I think we've mentioned it before. It definitely, if you're not that kind of person, it definitely will bring it out of you. And that's just me being honest, man. I'm not the daycare daddy type, so to like tap into that like all day is like something new and challenging for me. I'm like, yo, can I go back to just being stoic all the time? It's like all this like.
It's a different experience, and like that's that dad trade-off, right? When you're like, look, I'm gonna go provide, I will provide all the things, just don't make me have to like talk about it. Can I just not talk about anything, and don't talk to me about how you feel either. Just could you just do it over there?
It's so
Tough
funny.
life.
I got into it with my dad the other day. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw there in town, but like he was like asking me something, and I told him, and he was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked at him, and I was like, "I don't know how I could be any more straightforward with you. What do you mean? Like, like how do you not understand what I just said?"
I
But
say that shit
anyways,
all the time. I mean,
yeah, that was
exactly what
that.
I said. Like, no, just think. It sounds hella rude. It's like, wait, no, just think about it again. If you don't, if you
Right.
didn't get it, just like maybe sit with it for a minute, because that's exactly what I meant to say.
That's it. But
Ugh.
that's what I've been playing, dude. Shoot, what have I been? You know, a lot of Call of Duty actually. I kind of rounded the mend on that, and I don't know what it is, but the last update they had, it's improved a lot of like multiplayer fixes, and I've been busting niggas on that, bro, like crazy. A lot of that, some Armored Core. I've been getting my from
Oh, you've been
soft
playing
grind in
that?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic! I wasn't sure if you guys got some time, and I wanted to talk about it. Obviously, it's taken over social. We'll get there, but that's great.
my fucking Power Ranger, Gundam Wing, fucking Titanfall on and that shit. That's been hella fun. That's actually been a lot of fun. I was surprised with that. But really, that's been it. I haven't really been playing with the boys too often, just because the way the schedule's been. But
We'll talk
getting ready
about
for
that a little bit
Starfield
later
on
too.
Tuesday. But yeah,
Shad got the head start, of course, right? Old premium Shad out here. Old Moneybag Shad. That's what it is. Old Scrooge McShad. Yeah, I'll have to talk about that a little bit too. So we'll get into it. Well, shit. I guess we might as well. I mean, I got time, but we've been out for a minute. Want to get into these topics?
just
Tell us
jump
what we got, Banton.
into it. Yeah. Well, like I said, we're gonna get into some Starfield. The new 2K24. Man, they really changed this. We're gonna go over the new features, new gameplay, new title options, just everything. The new rehaul they're bringing into that. And then lastly, Gamescom. As for major topics, and then just a little bit of some stuff we're gonna go ahead and freelance off at the end of the show. But those are it for the topics,
Gamescom
at
was
least.
about the business, boyos. We'll do that. And for those of you that love the What Did Not Make the Show segment, which is my favorite segment, we swapped that to the back. A little bit of shaking up format, back from summer break, moving things around a little bit. Hope you like it. We'll get there later. Starting off first, I think, with you love to see it, the best news out there, our favorite thing that we saw this week. I was going to talk again about Starfield. So maybe I'll read a little bit of this article first, but then we'll just get into it. They were doing a ton. So let's see quickly from the Washington Post here. It says, as a story and as a game, Starfield is about ambition, how technology serves humanity, but also the humanity we lose in service of technology. Deep. A monumental 10-year project by Bethesda Game Studios and Xbox's great hope after a decade of struggle, Starfield is a marvel of planning and engineering. A video game with 1,000 explorable planets shouldn't exist, yet here it is in 2023. No Man's Sky, anyone. It fills that grand scale with a familiar narrative structure, yada, yada, yada. But this is still a Bethesda game and there are sacrifices. Okay, cool. I'm going to get into it. They set the stage there. If you're listening to this podcast, I hope you know what Starfield is. We've covered it. We've been covering it for a year and a half. I mean, I hope y'all know about this. I don't know. There's two areas I was going to talk about, or maybe three. One was the rollout for this, right, which has been nuts. We know they did the movie theater thing. I don't know if you guys saw the live action trailer, if you guys saw any of the space camp stuff, or that like anime series they did. All of this shit was really dope. And then maybe a couple of reviews or takeaways. I checked one out on YouTube. I think the best place to start is maybe with Shad, the only one of us three that's played it. So, Shad, take it away. Whatever you'd like to say. How do you feel about Starfield?
I love the game. I have been playing the game. I've been like thinking about the game when I'm not playing the game. I have two different files. One file is a modded file, and they are fully okay with modding, which is
Oh, they embrace it, right?
oh, it's so fantastic because it's not just like mods in the way that you get like infinite money or whatever. It's like mods that can give you better graphics, mods that can give you better like I guess like hotkey shortcuts, like HUD attachments, whatever. So
Like
it's
really
cool to
change
have
the
that.
game.
Absolutely, you can make it like your own whole thing. And then I think I'm like 12, maybe 13 hours into the game, and I'm only doing campaign. But so far, I absolutely love it. The story's like I don't know if you guys have heard of a sci-fi show on Amazon Prime called The Expanse. It kind of gives me that vibe. It's like you're in The Expanse.
I've been meaning to watch The Expanse and also Invasion. I wanted to ask Anton if he watches that.
I watched
Maybe we'll save that
Invasion.
for
Yeah,
TV Corner later
Invasion's
on.
great.
Yeah, we'll save that for TV
awesome.
Corner.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go on.
And then there are a couple of things in the game that are kind of cumbersome. Really, the only two things that I could think of, the most cumbersome thing is, as far as your inventory, like essentially going and like taking your stuff and selling it, dismantling it. It's a legitimate process. It's a Bethesda game. It's like Fallout. Fallout was the same way. And then people thought that we were going to have like a No Man's Sky experience where we can like drop down, like actually drop down into the planet and shoot up and then walk around the whole planet. People are saying that they may have lied about being able to explore the whole planet, but like, I'm going to be completely honest. I play No Man's Sky. Even the people who play No Man's Sky, they do not do a full lap around the planet. What is that? These things are huge as far as structure. Who has the time to even do that when you're
There's
jumping
no
from
stratosphere
solar
racing
at all? Nothing. It's
I would
literally,
do that shit,
dude. You
racing
can.
around the planet.
I think No Man's Sky
Bitch.
is like a simulator game as opposed to like this game that came out. It's like a true RPG game. So I've been loving it. Like I'll probably be on this
That
for a
makes
couple of
sense.
months.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's some of the stuff I saw as well. Again, I checked out like a an in-depth review. I think it was IGN. I did drop the video. If you have it, Shad, go for it. Otherwise, I can try and toss it up. We'll find it.
On it.
Oh yeah, I did. It's his video on there. So I checked out this IGN review, and they called out some key things. They said some of the stuff you said. And overall, this person seems to have loved the game. So again, seems like they didn't completely miss the mark. I have seen some headlines that are like, "Oh, don't play this game. They completely lie." Like you can tell they're sensational. But here they were saying a couple of things. Like one, they said there's no map. Like no map. You don't have any map action at all, Shad?
So there is a function button like M on your keyboard that does take you to a map, but it's not like an open world map. It's like points on like a plane. That's really all it is. And you just select those points and you travel to those points. It's a lot less like explorative than No Man's Sky. It's very to the point when you're trying to do the missions or when you're trying to explore or role play or whatever.
Bummer. Okay, fair. Oh, and that's not it. I think they show it a little bit in this video. But okay, so they're saying the maps kind of suck. They said the space travel thing, like you were saying, it's less, it's less takeoff and landing and that kind of stuff there. Same thing, inventory was cumbersome. And that building was a little bit difficult. They said even the shipbuilder thing was a little bit cumbersome, might be the word. But they said there were some great things too, right? The story seems to be really awesome. It's expansive, and it sounds like favorite thing. And this is one of my favorite things about great games, but also specifically Zelda for me, is like, you're playing it and we could have completely different experiences. There's a main story, but it's so big. He was saying that there's 70 hours in or 100 hours in, him and some of his colleagues, and they're like, wait, you haven't met this person? Like how that's like fundamental to my game experience. So they said that was cool. They liked kind of the partner element where sounds like you can invite someone to come on your ship and kind of go on raids and adventures with you. And that also is going to adjust your story, right? So the mission you're doing is going to be different depending who you bring with you. And so it's cool. They said it's limited to one person, which on the one end, I'm like, kind of a bummer, but
Yeah,
when you're writing this,
piggybacking that really quick. Yeah, it's you can invite like the AI, like it's like an NPC crew, but different crew I believe have different skills. Kind of like what you're saying.
right?
So, yeah, so some can have like weapon specialization or pilot
Piloting,
specialization
yeah.
and stuff.
One guy's like
that.
a scientist. I think
Here are the traits right here. Like in that last screen, it'll show you like some of the traits. Like,
okay.
Yeah, there's like a whole skill tree depending on the route of like kind of character you want to go as well.
Shout
Like,
Diablo if you listen to our Diablo pod. You know what I mean? Skill tree. But okay, so again, that sounds cool. That for me is amazing and sounds like what makes the part of what makes the game so special and part of what we're looking for. And again, from the story writing perspective, if you add like another person in, now it's variables, right? It's not like here's 100 different stories. It's like 100 times 100 for every person. So I can see how that gets crazy. That said, with AI and where we're going, depending on the because they worked on this game for 10 years, I hope it survives for a little bit. It seems like they've been trying to build more of a platform, right? They put a base story in there that's good to keep us busy, but they're like, hey, modders, go for it. We want this to be like GTA, right? It sounds like they want it to be space GTA. And if that's the idea, then they really just set this up and we can think about maybe how something like AI integrates. And so maybe in the future we can start to layer on multiple new guests. So that part looks really cool. Excited to see where it goes. The combat apparently was pretty cool. Shad, what do you think about combat? What's it most similar to for you?
Very like it's okay. I don't know how to explain this. It's kind of similar to like the Fallout 4 experience, but you can tell they've adapted like other games where like, you're fighting an NPC and they have amazing loot and they have like the legendary, the exotic, like the common. Um, I think that's really cool that they incorporated that into here, because if you get the right gun, just like any game, you're taking NPCs out, no problem. Like I have one gun, one headshot, you're done. It doesn't matter if you're fully armored, doesn't matter if you aren't, like you're done, and it's just, the action for a lot of people, they're saying it's like kind of slow as far as the fighting, but I like it. I have the jetpack. I'm flying around. I have like this chick helps me every once in a while, or I have this dude named Barrett who comes through and helps me. Like
What are
this
your
guy.
traits? Would you choose as your traits or background?
So I wanted the jetpack, so I did jetpack. I did piloting because I want to be a pilot. Later when I start doing role playing, and I think the third one was like weight training, so I can carry a bunch of goods and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the way the upgrades work, you have to select the upgrade that you want, but then there's a challenge that requires the first rank to go up to the first rank upgrade. So like if you want to get a pistols like specialization, you can select that, but you need to have 25 kills with the pistol in order for you to go to the next rank within that thing. So you can't just get cheats and like get them. You have to actually like do the challenges.
I like that mix. What about this is for sure my favorite part of this game that I haven't played. What's up with the raids, my boy? You've been do a little pirate action?
So I did one raid on one of my files, and I saw a ship come down, and I saw the ship, and there was a bunch of pirates in it, all coming out of the docking bay or whatever. So I just mowed them all down, jumped in, killed everybody on the ship, and took their ship, and now I have 2 ships. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen that. I watched a lot of Dr. Lupo and Dr. Disrespect playing. Dr. Lupo's been going in on this shit since it came out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like I guess to kind of back you, like you can steal a ship, but then like to modify it, you have to register it, right? But then
it's like stolen goods.
right? But then depending on the ship, it's like it'll probably be like you might as well have just bought it instead. You know what I mean? So like you want to keep certain ships just like the kind of basic or whatever it is, but then ones that you do buy, then you got the full mod.
That's interesting.
They
That makes
incorporate
it again.
Go ahead.
I wonder, like, can you steal ships of like real people? Like, can I pull up on Shad out in space and like take a ship?
Well, it's single
No, it's
player.
only single player.
Yeah, so you can't do that, unfortunately. You can in No Man's Sky, I think.
Oh shit! What's that game? No, it's not StarCraft.
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, yeah, where they're like on the ships and doing that. Yeah, I'm like, how do we get Star Citizen over here? Go ahead, Shad.
That shit is gnarly.
Exactly that.
I've also played that game.
I guess that was the big thing, and then that's something else I put in there is just like some of the takeaways is how cool it is. You know what they can do in a game like this with the modding, right? Where it can go, and again, they've really set it up that way. And then where something like AI can take it, kind of as I talked about before. Again, continuing to integrate those things, I wonder how this could grow. And could they build something? Could they build a Star Citizen element into it, right? Could they build, what else could they build? And how creative can we get with it?
In my opinion, the only negative thing about this is, even though I know there is exploration to it, don't get me wrong, there's like a lot, you know what I mean? I think it's just that the travel aspect, I think is the only thing in the long term that would like hinder it, you know? Because
I think they're showing that right now.
Because think of like Skyrim and what was the other one? Was Fallout and all of those. I mean, and again, I know it sounds kind of different, but like to my understanding, a lot of these planets are only generated to like a certain point, right? Like it's not like so. And then even like the traveling between planets, it's all kind of like fast loading screen. Granted, I know it's different planets, but I feel like that would only get like you can only do so many different planets and so many landscapes and everything. And once you explore after 100 hours, granted I know that's a lot, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I think of like Skyrim, these games, people have been playing these games religiously for years, but I think of it's the exploration aspect of it, and I don't know, maybe the planets are, who knows. I think that's the other side of it. I think we're still too early to really give like a full review on a game with this much depth. They put 10 years of planning into this. Like, we're really going to figure it out in 72 hours.
Really good too.
So,
like strategically, like it's really good. Like the way that Kevin said that they had a rollout for it. But a lot of the Fallout games that come out are generally pretty bad in the beginning.
Right.
Lots of bugs. And I swear to you, man,
76 is terrible.
dude, I thought this was going to be kind of the same thing. I was like, bro, oh my God, I'm not going to get this the first week because it's going to be buggy as shit. And to my humble thoughts that I have, it's not at all. It's really fun. You know?
Yeah, I can't wait to jump on it. I was pissed that it was after the weekend. I was like, God damn it. It would be Tuesday.
I was thinking about like why release on a month? Like I guess it's Labor Day, so tomorrow, right? Or is it out now? It says play.
If you bought it, you can play it now, but it comes to Game Pass. It's available Tuesday, the 6th.
What's gonna happen if I click play?
I don't know. Try it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, yeah, it says you're too early. But yeah, again, so I guess maybe it's a Labor Day thing. They're like everyone's going to be home, but still go on Friday when everyone's going to. Then they get 4 days to play. Either way, we'll see how that goes.
I have one small point to add with the maps, Anton. I was reading something online. It was just some like user who kind of put it in a weird perspective for me. So we have one open world game in usual like RPGs. You know, we'll have our dungeons, we'll have like everything in between that. But I feel like in this one they have 1,000 different worlds with 1,000 open worlds, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It might not be like a full like planet that you can like do a full lap around, I guess, but like we have 1,000 open world maps. I think the scale of that is huge, like different than No Man's Sky, you know, but like huge. So it's different to see. It's a different perspective as opposed to just having one big linear huge map. It's just whoa. Even when you look at the star map, dude, you're like, oh, I just found out you can turn it to 3D. I was just looking at it as points, but then you can look at it 4-dimensionally and it'll show you the distances between everything. It's insane. It's insane.
No, it is impressive. And that's why I was looking at it. Like the travel, I'm like, oh, this is going to take forever to niggas to go through all of these planets. But then again, and that's why, and again, that's why I thought the hinder of it, you know, like, well, you load in there, you run to a base or something. And it's like, all right, well, let's see. But
give me the Star Wars mod.
Yeah, that's what that'll be.
Shad, you pass the screen share back over to me?
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Niggas are being so critical of these bugs, bro. Like the game just came out. Chill out.
Purist.
It's not even out. It's not even out.
Like, right. It's not even fully released yet. There's gonna be bugs. Like, chill out.
Exactly, bro.
It's not even out yet. I was wondering if you guys saw, or I guess I asked already, but saw the Starfield Space Camp. It says here, prepare for liftoff. Early access for Starfield begins September 1. As we count down to launch, we enlisted content creators Astro Alexandra, Phil's Pixel, Lily Pichu, and Myth. Oh, go ahead, Myth. And sent them to Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama, USA. Ooh, don't love that. At Space Camp, they put their skills to the test on what it takes to train like an astronaut as they prepare to explore Starfield's universe. Watch their individual Space Camp experiences on their channels or this weird trailer thing I've got for you right here, right now. Did you guys see this at all?
No.
On social, anywhere?
Nah.
Okay, they're walking. Okay, so that's this museum. I thought Nashville was in like Cape Canaveral. I thought we're in Florida, which is not far, I guess.
Oh, I follow this chick on TikTok.
Lily Pichu?
The girl in the middle. I don't know her name, but I follow her on TikTok. She does like star like cosmology. Like she's like a physicist. She's super smart.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Maybe they didn't get just gaming people. They went around, and that would make sense in terms of the space travel. Yeah. They're doing anti-gravity. The only I know Myth, and I feel like I know that other chick's name from TikTok or something.
Let me look.
This is kind of cool. What did they do? It got 170,000 views in like 4 days. Maybe they said okay. Oh, they did that weird spinning chair. I want to do this. I'll do this.
I'll throw up.
Let me check out the strength of your stomach. I hope they get to keep that suit too. That's what I would do it all for the suit.
That'd be tight.
All right, this was pretty cool. And then not that. That's getting ahead. Are you gonna say something, Manton?
Yo, could you imagine when like stuff like that just becomes like standard, like or like all right, fuck with me here for a second. Imagine when shit like that gets standard into like high school, like PE or some shit. Could you imagine like in the future when that like because imagine if we get into like space travel and that's just like a natural thing and we're all flying around like some jets and shit and all of that, like within like how soon do you think they will start incorporating training like that? Because obviously it wouldn't be something that's like super rare, it'd have to be more common. Imagine like high school training, you're just like in the fucking gym just getting tossed around and shit. Like, weak ass,
gotta
you
be
can't even leave
honest.
this atmosphere. What are you talking about?
I imagine they'd make some type of like, you know what I mean, like a Dramamine type, just pop this little pill. Like we don't practice to go on boats, but niggas still go on boats. Cause you don't like, I guess it depends on how frequently you do it. But if you're in this hypothetical future, if space travel is like a luxury, you know, like we don't go on planes all the time. So it depends on like, is space travel more like going on a plane or more like going in the car? If it's going in the car, we might need some training. If it's going on a plane, I bet you they just get like a pill for that shit.
It's like going in a car.
We're going to space a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
fuck with that. We're going to talk about a little bit of Foundation later on. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Best show ever.
That's what I'm saying. And then also this last thing I showed there was the live action trailer. It was cool, but then not cool enough to stop Anton from telling that story. It's kind of cool though.
Did you see the One Piece live action?
I did not actually. I'll add that to TV Corner. Shad, final thoughts on Starfield?
Love the game. Really excited it came out. It ported really well on PC. Stoked on it, and hope you guys can play it soon.
Dylan, because I spit hot fire.
The man does everything around here.
Too soon to say Game of the Year?
Yes. Zelda came out this year. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it's bro. Zelda's like, I mean, I don't know. Give me
Diablo 4 came out this year.
Ask me next
better
episode.
Than Diablo? Shad, it's better than Diablo? First 10 hours?
Yeah.
Counting like how much you got to play with the boys, the overall hype, the marketing rollout, all that shit. It's better than Diablo 4?
No, playing with the boys is always the best. Playing a game with the boys is always the best. Playing
Did
solos.
Hogwarts come out this year?
Yeah.
I'm dunking on this game. I don't know, bro. Game of the year?
I don't know. Well, that's what I wanted to get into too. I saved down there later for Path of Exile too, but anyway.
Well, we'll talk about that, and then I guess for what it's worth, in the next one we have too is Gamescom. I didn't look, but they had awards, so maybe we'll peek at the awards and see what they had to say. But before we get into that, Anton, you want to take us to the next topic?
Yes, the monopolizing video game that is 2K24 that is about to be rolling out to us again here soon. We got some new information here. They just dropped, actually, just like 2 days ago, like the new My Player Builder and the new rec limitations. And then previously, I think we had mentioned that there was going to be like a Game Pass type thing. But
oh yeah,
actually, thanks for reminding me. I had screenshotted that because I wanted to look into that. I got some more information on it.
Again, as our resident 2K expert, and did Mike ever get back to us? As our resident 2K expert, I'm expecting you to carry us here because I've seen there was a lot going on with this right now.
Yeah, so let me get into this Game Pass first. So honestly, I think they took a page from Call of Duty because I know that Call of Duty does this. So there's going to have so firstly with this, there's a Pro Pass on a Hall of Fame Pass to receive rewards. So there's going to be 80 rewards, kind of like well, actually Apex too, now I think about it. They have like you could buy the Game Pass, but then if you spend $20, like for $10, and then if you spend 20, then you skip 20 tiers, and you know what I mean. So that's essentially.
I said, boo! Don't come for the game that I like though, because then it's different. I don't mind it when they do it.
But on the flip side, Apex is free, so you know what I mean.
Hey, you know what? That's a good. See, that's my man. You have my back.
I got you. But yeah, so there's going to be 80 rewards. Apparently, they're going to have the Pro Pass for $10, the Hall of Fame Pass for $20, which helps you skip, what is that, 15%, something like that, and it gives you a bunch of XP boosts and things like that. And fans are not happy, especially for a basketball game. Just very bad reviews. I don't know. Which again, we're talking about it's across multiple other games. But
right,
I don't know. I think it's just this whole Game Pass thing is just really ruining video games. Or if you're gonna have a Game Pass like this again, you need to make the game free or stop. Or this whole annual. All right, here's another $72, depending on $110 game if you want to get NBA League Pass as well. For what I mean? It's like because if you buy the $100 Kobe or Mamba edition, whatever it is, I think you get like Game Pass and then all this other stuff. So it's just it's ridiculous, dude. But on the flip side, apparently they have got a lot of kind of moving into gameplay changes. They have made a lot of changes, which what I've seen from people like Badge Plug Online, Joe Knows, what's his name, DH, I think, or something like that. Double, I don't know, I forget. But like pretty respected like 2K players like in the community online. A lot of that stuff has changed though. The animations, the gameplay animations, like the very spammy dribble moves and dunk moves and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I don't know. At
Well,
least
that's interesting. Again, staying on the battle passes for a second, because again, we'll get into some of that other stuff. But I thought that's really interesting, and it's an interesting take. My first thought, which is a bad joke, is that's one thing I know Diablo didn't invent is the battle pass. But I was like, wait, where did it come from? And I thought the battle pass came from Fortnite. I was wrong. It actually comes from Dota. It
Really?
comes from Dota 2, which again, you guys know I went down that pretty crazy League of Legends
Wow.
rabbit hole recently for a work project, and I
Hmm.
learned that they also came from Dota 2. They're like, oh, this is a cool game. We're just gonna, if I'm saying it correctly, Dota is a Warcraft mod.
I actually
No,
don't even know, to
I
be
don't know.
honest.
I don't know.
What is that? I've heard of
it's
that before, but I'm not familiar.
it's a mod on a different game.
I like Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons.
yeah, yeah. So Dota 2 is a 2013 multiplayer online battle arena game by Valve. It's a sequel to Defense of the Ancients, Dota, a community created mod for Blizzard Entertainment's Warcraft 3. That's what I thought,
I
right?
got it.
Everything, isn't it crazy how everything goes back to the same, like it all goes back to the same, the guys. Like if fucking Blizzard out here was doing it, the Blizzard North, Blizzard South was doing it. Either way. So
It's
like we
crazy.
were saying, right, we're talking about Starfield and how that can come to life and how they're setting it up for mods. This is maybe the best or one of the best mod stories ever, where they just gave you a game, they created a whole new genre, right? They created the MOBA genre out of Warcraft as it existed. And then they did that kind of now with League of Legends, where they created a couple games out of that game. They have like the 2v2 mode and some other stuff. But either way, I guess the Battle Pass goes back to Dota, and I did not know that.
Hmm.
Big surprise.
Interesting.
Banton, you still there? He is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
man.
him.
Oh, I cut out.
I lost
Oh,
his video.
okay.
Mm.
Hello, but yeah.
Hello.
So
All right.
but either way,
I've-
moving forward, I guess I see here they added the LeBron era to the eras. So if you're unfamiliar,
what are eras? I wanted to ask you if you knew more about the eras, because that was brand new to me. So do you know about that already?
yeah, so it's like different game modes that are like franchise modes that you can jump into, or like I guess career franchise, I guess. So I believe in this last one they have like the Magic era. Like it starts with like the Magic era, and then there's the what is it like the Michael era, and then I think there's what's the third one? The LeBron. I think
Kobe?
they already have a LeBron era or the Kobe era. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, I don't really play it, so I'm sorry. I'm not too familiar with it. I just go straight into the my player. But but
I'm just trying to think of who the goats are. You know what I mean?
yeah, here we go. Yeah, yeah, the Magic versus Bird era, the modern era, and then the Kobe era, which is so yeah. So it goes from like when our parents and then so forth. But yeah, shout out to LeBron. I guess he's big enough to get his own era now, right? I mean, he's the biggest person
On
since,
era
so-
while he's still playing.
That's
So
wild.
cool. So they added a new era for 2K24, and that's the LeBron era. Do you know
Yeah.
anything about My NBA Lite? Did you see that?
I actually did not. No.
So they
Right.
apparently, again, I'm not the expert here, but it looks like they took the franchise, right, like the regular My NBA game, and they basically just stripped everything out. At first, I thought it was going to sound like they made like Football Manager, where it's just the coaching and just like salary cap and stuff. It's the opposite of that. So it's like if you want to play a whole season of My NBA and all that stuff, but you don't know anything about like trades and deadlines, you don't want any of that shit enforced. You just like, can I just play and kind of do what I want? Almost like fantasy draft, when you're like,
Mm.
can I just have fun with it? It's a little bit like that. So it's not all taken away, but I think one example is like the trade deadline is pushed all the way back to the playoffs. Things like that. Like salary caps aren't enforced. So they're trying to introduce new game modes. I thought that was interesting. My thought is, I mean, you'd assume they'd go the other way, right? You think the popularity of a game like Football Manager, and the value breadth and depth of the metadata that we have, like Football Manager is so great because it's got real information of real people, and that's what's so fun. So either way, I thought that would be the call, but it sounds like they went the other direction for now. What do you think, Anton?
No, I agree with you on that. That is very interesting. Like, why? Who wants to skip that? Like, I guess I understand if you don't want to play the game or it's just like whatever, you just want to. Actually, I don't even get that because that's part of the fun. Like, especially if you
That's
play
part of
with
it's like
like,
how you learn.
yeah, that's how you learn about new
Right.
players. That's literally the whole reason why I even play career modes or anything like that, or like one or even in it, or am interested in like connected franchises with friends. You know what I mean, and things like that. That's one thing about FIFA or FC that I'm pissed about. Why do they not have connected franchises on that yet? Like, why can't we not like all have a club and
I
then
would
do
get
like a
down in
career and
that.
play against each other together? Like,
Whoa.
you know what I mean? So yeah. But then
Right.
again, like we have a draft, we could do trades with each other and stuff like that. Like, well, how do they not have that? That's insane. So yeah, that's kind of confusing me why people would stray away from that aspect of like, I just want to play. Fuck this. Like,
Like,
I
my thought at
guess, but
first was like maybe kids, and I was like, but even for kids, like, I mean, again, listening to you say it too, like that's kind of part of the point. Like those things exist for a reason. It's to make the game beautiful. Like, you know, they exist in real life for a reason. They're not just made up. So I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know. But
play.
I applaud that they're trying, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, they also introduced some new complex features. That's interesting. Right after that, they're like, also though in regular My NBA, they improved, like they made it more complex to reflect the new CBA, the new collective bargaining agreement. And then they changed really specific things. Like they're like in the WNBA, their All Star game is positionless, and so we want to reflect that too, which I respect. But I just thought is very very specific. So they went in both directions. They gave you something that's less specific, and they also tightened the screws on the other side.
I kind of wish that you could have a female like build for like the park and the rec and stuff like that.
Oh, you can't do that?
No,
Like you can in FIFA?
no, like
Ew.
you
Come on,
can.
2K.
There's
Boo,
like a
boo,
WNBA
boo.
builder. Like
You're
there's
not that
it's
guy,
like a whole
Dalton.
other
You're not that guy.
like section of the game. It's like, okay, here's the NBA, but if you want to do that, you got to switch to like the WNBA and then make like a female character, and then it's only like the female career. Like you can't take that player to like the park or anything like that.
That's wild sexist. It's a video game. Why can't I have CP dunk on Durant? Let me ew. I hate that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they can't, but yeah, that if anything, that's probably my only complaint about that because that is fun in what am I thinking of? Pro clubs to have like the
Oh yeah.
intersex. Yeah, like in my opinion. I don't know.
When I showed up late and like everybody had girls and I was the only one that didn't, I was like, "Oh, I'm a dick. All right, cool." Look at me not embracing that. That was funny.
We're all hugging and you come jump on the pile late. We're like, yo, get him out of here. Too close, too close.
Ooh. Speaking of jumping on the pile too late, my boy out of Spain on our soccer podcast. What's the FA president name? Wallet.
Something Laporte or something like that, right?
I will not step down.
Florentine.
Oh,
I
that
will not.
dude.
I
Oh,
will
that.
not step down.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was consensual. Like consensual.
She was
If
like,
you
"No,
have
it
to get on
wasn't."
stage and say that word, you're in trouble.
Listen, if I grab your head and kiss you, it's consensual, all right?
If I grab you by the face, kiss you on the mouth, I'm not even gonna. You know what? I won't even go there. Anton, I saw it just to close 2K out. I saw there were also some new features, like for the real 2K heads. It sounds like they were tightening some things up. They got some cool stuff. One of them made a lot, or two of them actually made a lot of sense. Three of them, I was like, I might need Anton's help. The first one is Pro Play. Have you heard about this?
Honestly, no.
So that's I bet you have. Maybe just not the name. I watched like the YouTube videos. So you know how they added like the new animations basically, like the AI fueled where like so now the animations are tighter. Instead of what they used to do is do mocap, like you had to put on the motion capture.
I'm
suit.
sorry. Yeah,
Now
okay.
right,
I didn't know that
go
was
for
the
it.
name of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's like the same thing with FIFA, like what you're saying with the new motion cap and the player thing, and like because I did see that. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was the name of it.
No, good.
Yeah, so yeah, because they added like hundreds of new animations and dunks and dribble packages and stuff like that. Apparently,
Wow.
So yeah,
I think they're using AI now to scan through the user data. Like I was just saying, that the lean into the breadth and depth of the metadata. So I think that the scanning thousands and thousands of hours of game footage to see how these guys actually move, and they're able to layer that into the game, into their character or into their player. So they're saying it's also fueled, like it's moving in real time as well. So they're like the season and their performance is going to fuel. Which I was like, I guarantee you the players aren't getting paid for that shit. I'm tight. If I got a signature, you know what I mean? I'm tight. Don't be selling my shit. All right, whatever. But that's pretty cool. So they added it, so you'll see the way they dribble, the way they pull up, the way they celebrate, the way they shoot, release the ball. All that stuff is going to be dialed up significantly, which is a really key and core element of the game. Another huge thing I saw is crossplay. Anton,
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, Xbox niggas are about to get balled up, bro. I can't wait.
Is the rivalry? It's real. The rivalry is a serious thing here.
Of course. Oh yeah, and especially kind of like what I mentioned. I guess in the rec.
You're both like what?
The new
So
rec
the
thing.
Xbox niggas, you.
He swears he's Jim Ryan.
When we're talking about our boy Phil Spencer, he's over here like, I'm an Xbox, me on the Xbox. Fair.
Yeah, it depends on what's console I buy it for. You know what I mean? If I buy it on Xbox,
so
then
funny.
PlayStation niggas gonna get balled up. It's one or the other.
Right, like it depends on like per game. I'm a different console person. It depends on like I play FIFA on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Don't come at me. That's so funny.
Pepsi pays more.
Oh,
So.
fair enough.
But
I'm done. Okay, but
Yeah.
I did think that was interesting. PlayStation and Xbox only. So don't come in here with your Switch. We're not playing 2K on your Switch. And of course, PC is still left out. Can you do like
But that makes
Xbox
sense.
on PC? Do you guys know?
Well, yeah, if you do Game Pass and just plug in the controller, I think.
Yeah.
So you can play on PC,
Yeah.
just not on Steam. Hey,
Yeah.
okay, well, all right, then never mind. Take it back. Like, Xbox is smooth with the finesse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we sell Xboxes. Actually, we're just gonna be PC because we are PCs.
We secretly
Smooth,
are.
man, I swear. They're smooth. They're like, oh yeah, the Xbox, whatever. We'll sell that thing. You guys still sell hardware? Smooth. Damn, they're finesse. Them niggas finessing. I swear to God, they over here just like, well, okay. Oh no, PlayStation has Spider-Man. What are we gonna do? Oh, selfish. I also saw something. Adrenaline boost. Anton, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, they're just that's kind of relative to the gameplay, like the animations we were saying. Well, I'm sorry, I was kind of getting off on it earlier, but back to that. Like a lot of players
Okay.
or like gameplay creators that I've been seeing have said that the game may look similar, but like you said, with the difference in like animations and everything, it plays completely different. Like you're not going to be able to, and kind of relative to the adrenaline boosts. God damn, how did I sum this up? Yeah, so like again, like with the dribbling, like you're not going to be able to like you really have to kind of like with the badges, like limitless takeoff, and we're kind of getting into like it's not gonna be so arcadey as before, just da 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 da. You know
Like
what
press
I
a
mean?
button animation, I'm going for it. That's what I was hearing. They're saying
Right.
more things. Like there's going to be more. Like I just wrote down defense. Like defense is going to be way different. There's more bumping. There's more
Physical.
I read something
right.
that like like if you're on the dribble and you get bumped 3 times in the same take, that it's going to impact your shot.
Mhm.
So like if this nigga's putting the clamps on you, you're not going to pull up and drain. Like you're not going to hit greens on that.
Damn.
It's going to start to get in your head almost.
Right, and that'll affect your adrenaline too, because what everyone does before in 2K, for example, they would make. I mean, I have one. I just joined the club. I was like, fuck it, dude. Everyone has a 6'8", like a LaMelo Ball build, a 6'8", 6'9", dribble god, but that can also go to the rack, can shoot
And shoot from
but
a mile away.
Right, but that's 160 pounds. But I can blow past, all
Kevin
these
Durant, but
forwards.
cool.
Right, but yeah, but then I can blow past people that are 2-3 size my, just for no reason. So that's why they're finally incorporating this. So it's like, nah, you're not going to be 150 pounds blowing past, 240 pound,
said they took-
power forwards and dunking on them and shit like that. It's you'll be a lot more contact at the rim. Like even if you can get past them, and if you're not strong enough to get past them, that'll affect your adrenaline and your power. And so, like you have like three adrenaline bars. And so, say for example, you get the ball, bring it up. Cross, move. There's one bar. You go to blow past somebody. If they hem you up, that's a second. And then
Adrenaline
you step
boost.
back. Right. And then
Now I get it.
And then you're on your third bar. If you
Right.
you're already
you only get so
tired.
many like cool shits to do per.
Right.
That's kind of cool. That's a cool system. Okay, I like that.
Which is, I mean, pretty realistic. I mean, nobody's really, going yard with the ball for 10, 15 seconds. So.
I should know this nigga Kyrie Irving, but you're right. No, fair enough. That's I was just thinking interesting too. Is like I wonder in like the season gameplay and stuff. Like, if you're Kyrie, do you get more boost? If you're like Anthony Edwards, this nigga with all the energy, or no, what De'Aaron Fox? If you're De'Aaron Fox, can you just go all day? Pause.
Mm-hmm. But that's what changed. but that's what changed the badges, because it's like kind of like with Call of Duty, like with the weapon mods, how you need this barrel to unlock, and you'll have to grind out this barrel to unlock this to get this badge. They've kind of added a system like that. So like you'll need
Okay.
to, like limitless takeoff we have on here. Like to get limitless takeoff like you had before, they have like tiers. So there's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 badges. And so like you'll have to unlock a certain amount of badges in tier 1 and tier 2 to get tier 3 and so forth. So now you can't just be a god off rip. So to get to, again, like a De'Aaron Fox or Kyrie level, like you're gonna have to grind the fuck out of a character to even get the same badges as them.
This is wild. Good to okay, fair enough. So feature changes, right? They brought a lot of new stuff. The final thing, and maybe the most important thing I wanted to chat with you about in here, which I thought also again for us, like Shad, this might be our year. So they've streamlined my career this year.
Mm.
Do you know about that?
No, that's the only thing I haven't. The
Let me
career
start
aspect
again.
of it, I think I haven't seen. Sorry.
I'll start again. You take over if it rings a bell. But from what I understand, they essentially took out all the bullshit side quests, right? Like, remember what was that like Asian girl you had to talk to a bunch of times in that like 2K20? They took out like the skateboarding and all these extra side things that some of them were mandatory or like were the better way to level up your character, but they were non-basketball activities essentially, and that I guess really bothered people.
Oh, the whole icon thing. That was annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because even
This
the
is something
last one,
about
dude.
modeling,
Yeah, in the
rapping.
last one,
Yeah,
you had to have like depending on your career and to get like a Nike endorsement, for example, in the game, which is like one of the best ones. You had to have a certain level of fandom. You had to have like music endorsed in the music industry, so you had to go
gotta make
fucking rap.
Snapchats and shit.
Yeah, you had to go like do bullshit, like go to record stores and do like trivia with whoever the fuck this guy was, and then go meet up with J. Cole and make a record with J. Cole, and then you had to do like, be in the fashion industry and meet and
Do
design
the State Farm
clothes and
commercial.
shoes and State Farm. You know what I
I
mean? It
remember
was like all
seeing
this
Jake
like
from State Farm.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I that's why I just skip all that shit and just go straight into the player and into the rec. So I'm like, I don't know what all this other shit is. This is just not like I don't want to buck. I don't care about all this. Like just let me. But then you can't advance in your career unless you
That
do certain things, and that's what's annoying. It's like so.
that's what I was
Okay,
hearing. Is like there's certain like either you can't make it or you can't go as fast if you don't do these things,
yeah,
and that's been really a big issue. And for someone like me, again, like the biggest issue for me with most games, that again, shouts to Diablo. I get back to that so many times now. How long it takes me to start doing something. If I have to take 45 minutes before I can start to play the game, I'm like, oh, can I just play? I think that really makes a big difference for me. So being able to streamline past that stuff, like I came to play basketball, and especially in terms of like how it relates to the park and leveling up your player. Don't make me do. It's one thing if you make me do career mode anyways and play against NPCs, but now I got to do career mode rap challenges. Like, god damn.
yeah.
So I feel that. Okay, well, cool. Again, it sounds like they streamlined that and at least made it optional. So I don't know, Shad. This might be our year to really get into it.
I'm
I
going
got it
to.
in late last year.
I'm gonna try it. Like I every time I try to get into it, I kind of fall off because I lose interest. But I've been watching a lot more basketball, so I'm starting to learn a little bit more. So now I just feel like I kind of know a little bit more of what I'm doing. Before I had no idea what the positions were and like what I had to do. I got to put the ball in the basket. The end. No, it's more. It's more than that.
We should do like a game diary, right? Like watching you learn the game, and then I'll pick up like let me get an RPG or something.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something with like what's the longest intro scene? Starfield. Let me do
No,
a diary of me playing
not even,
Starfield. It takes
bro.
an hour to get started.
I jumped into the Starfield game, and like after like setting up my character, I probably was in a battle probably within like the first like 10-15 minutes. They did a
How long
really
was the
good job.
character setup though? I almost quit Hogwarts. That shit took like 5 minutes, and I was like, I don't care.
Like
I just play.
hour and a half. I spent like an hour and a half just making my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the character creation. The character creation is deep.
It's
in
deep,
that game.
dude. It's the deepest
deep.
character creation I've ever seen. Even more deep than Cyberpunk, bro. It was
Yeah.
wild.
I can't. Oh, we're gonna chat about Cyberpunk a little bit. See, that shit is so hard for. I'm like, I got stuff to do. I have 1 hour to play. I'll spend 1 hour putting scars across my eye.
Bro, it's deep.
I can't do it. All right, okay, all right. Final thoughts on 2K, Anton. Take it away.
I'm torn, man. I'm happy. I'm obviously excited for a new basketball game. I hate to say it, I'm not gonna get it because I am. I don't know. The biggest thing is just one of those like just listen to the fans. I think that's been the biggest argument for like the last 4 years is that they haven't had like why have they not had real content creators that play the game and bring real awareness to the game, come in and give their opinion, you know? I don't know, put them through some sort of training or something to kind of get them to like understand because not everybody is going to understand video game design and all that to like a certain level, you know, or like business, but like,
Mhm.
you know, put them through like an introduction course and then have them be like an official rep or like a brand rep or something, you know, like I know more gaming industry, you know, companies are doing it now, but I don't know. As long as they listen and the game is fun and I don't know. I'll have to see. We didn't even get into the park. The new park looks. It looks like they finally narrowed down a lot of the parks. They had 100 fucking parks before with 100 people running around. I mean, seriously, dude. There was at least like 20 basketball courts with 100 people on the lot and a lobby. It's like,
Like, what?
you know how hard it
You
was
know
to
what?
get into a game. It's like no one's gonna want to. You get blown out, and it's like
No.
fuck these guys. I'll go find somebody else to go play against, and then you don't find anybody. So it's like, you know, less courts, less courts, more people, narrow it down. You know, better gameplay, less lag, more freedom like we used to have, and stop bringing this shit back. Like, oh look who we like. You already had this 10 years ago, and everyone will be happy. And especially with the crossplay and things like that, I think it should be good. I don't know. It's only gotten good reviews from what I've seen. I haven't even played it yet, so I'm excited, man. I think this will be the best one. I'm hoping to say at least in the last like 5 years. So more
Right,
good than bad.
that was an excellent. I'm gonna wrap that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to say about
Mm-hmm.
that. Onward and upward. We'll see how it goes in the future. Well, good. Again, I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe me and Shad will get in this year. Looking forward to it. Still finding ways to innovate. This is a big year for sports games. You know, like again,
Mhm.
FIFA obviously is a big difference. Big changes to 2K. Madden. I've been actually. Oh, I fucked it. I don't know. What have you been playing? I've been playing Madden. Duh.
Mm.
How did I miss that? It's a whole new learning curve. The passing changed again. It's cool. But big year for sports games.
Catch me on
Fuck NHL.
NCAA with the Buffaloes and Coach Prime, nigga. What up?
You know what? Ooh, put Prime on the cover. I'm about to cop a Colorado. You know what? I'm just gonna add that in later because I'm about to start copping me a whole Colorado situation. Like, how do I get them? Is there a way I can buy a jersey from them specifically? Like, how can I NIL the fuck out? I lace them up, lace them up. Before we get into Colorado football, quickly, Shad, I hope you know what we're talking about. If you don't, we're gonna have fun with that. Want to chat about Gamescom? You know, again, that came out or it came out. They had the big event, one of the biggest events in gaming all year, every year, right? So Gamescom was just, I think, like 2 days ago, a couple days ago, um, wrapped up, and some big news came out. So again, for me, I thought it was really simple. There were some cool highlights like cosplays and some of the build outs. Shad is showing some things on screen if you can see it. Also, man, poor E3. Look at how cool this is. Sega showed up, Xbox showed up, everybody balled out, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck you, E3. We're not doing trade shows anymore, except for all of these trade shows."
Yeah.
Um,
Who?
what? But for me, there was some really big news that came out. I wanted to chat with you guys about. Right, so Mortal Kombat 1 really took some big strides, more trailers, and they really debuted some of how the game's going to work, some of the new mechanics. Shad, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Have you
Yep.
heard about this? Right. Okay, we'll talk about
Mhm.
that for a sec. Half-Life 2 RTX. I don't know if you guys know about that or what that is, but that's some cool shit. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of games like that. And then maybe, oh gosh, I guess there's two. Modern Warfare 3 campaign, which I'm surprisingly excited about. And then the new Sonic DLC, which I don't even have that game, but kind of excited about. So lots going on. Starting at the top, have you guys seen Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Looks great.
It
Yeah, I want
looks
that.
it looks great. Again, yeah, I'm not sure if it's in here, if you found trailers or whatever. I did not provide links. I'm a terrible co-producer here. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 looks fantastic. We've already covered that it's got some of the things, like it's got, what's his name, Homelander is going to be in it. And they've got some Peacemaker, John Cena is going to be in it. So they've got some cool stuff going on. But mostly the trailers look amazing. They said they dove in and they're really trying to start their franchise over. So aside from some almost mask off looks at Sub-Zero and Scorpion and the guys, I think they said Scorpion's not a main character for the first time in ages, and they also took some main characters just out of the game. Like they're not in it. They're not going to be DLC. They're not going to be available later. They just, like, we want you to miss some people sometimes. So we'll bring them back later on, but we wanted to truly reset the franchise. So we're sorry for now, but for those of you that are the biggest fans of someone like Melina, I think who's missing, don't quote me. If you're the biggest fans, then we're setting you up for the comeback, right? We're gonna have a great time when we bring her back, and we'll spend some extra attention on her. So they made some real changes. Are you guys gonna cop this? I'm gonna buy it. We're big Mortal Kombat fans in this house. My wife's kind of Trinity is what the Hogwarts, Rocket League, and Mortal Kombat.
It's the first game I ever played, so I'm definitely buying this game.
I got a great one. She's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. This looks fucking. Yeah, I've been watching because they had a stream. I think like an early access stream or something like that. When is? I didn't see what came. Yeah, but
September 19th, and then again early access September 14th. Because we are legitimately buying this in the house. We I know this one, just top of the dome. And then if you saw, they put out a couple of different editions. They have the cool, like the premium for 100, the money bag style. But they also have basically a merch version that comes with like a sculpture and a bunch of cool posters and original prints and stuff like that. So they built a lot into it.
I love that shit. I love those like special editions when they have stuff like that. That's cool.
Right, they know their fan base, and they're doing a good job out there. So shout outs to Mortal Kombat 1. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Sounds like and again, from what I understand, this is kind of the last big push. Correct me if I'm wrong or if you know anything about this, but I think this is the last big push for Cyberpunk in this iteration before a lot of that team moves on to, I think, The Witcher. Am I mixing up teams?
Oh, no, you're right.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so they're gonna be moving on to a new Witcher project. So this is the last big one. Sounds like they brought a lot of change of new stuff, new DLC. So again, this is just add-ons to the existing Cyberpunk game. Something about they changed the police. It's got a cool new red cover. Shad, what do you know?
So they're doing like a full rehaul. What I was getting from it is it's essentially like Cyberpunk 2.0. So we're going to be able to get a lot of things that weren't in the game. Like, and a lot of like GTA-esque style games, you have situations where you're driving and you're actually like fighting against someone, or you're chasing them down, you got to gun them down. There's not a lot of that type of experience in the action in this game. The action in this game is very much like you have a group of people, you have all these cybernetics. I'm going to use all my cybernetics and do what I need to do to take everybody out, but that's really it. You can try parkouring and like look sick while you do it, but there's no depth in that. Apparently they're gonna
fight story.
Exactly. Like it's just an NPC. It has no like emotional connection. And I think now they're adding more of like an emotional component behind it when you're fighting somebody. Like it's not just going to be an easy like looter and shooter type of thing. I think they're incorporating some sort of AI as well for the NPCs to actually be able to not just take a bullet to the face, It's going to be fun, more hard, more smooth. And I think they're going to bring a different type of like graphic. They already have ray tracing, but I guess it's a new element that they're adding for the 40 series. So it should be really good.
Gotta do an explainer on what the fuck ray tracing is exactly what it is in depth, but also explain like I'm 5. We'll do that later on. That sounds cool. It looks great. I still have it down. Like I still have this hope that it's going to be one of the games that I play. Again, it's like how long do I have to customize my character? But I have the faith. One of these days, either I'm going to have another kid, so I'll take daddy leave, or I'll bust my ankle again and I'll be stuck at home. Something's going to happen, and I'm going to play that game. I have the faith. Shit. I skipped over. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to let you know. So this is what ray tracing is for anybody at home. Ray tracing is a rendering technique that can realistically simulate the lighting of a scene and its objects by rendering physically accurate reflections, refractions, shadows, and indirect lighting. So not all games have that.
How it works.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm actually going to talk about that in a second. I want to go in, I want to learn, that's what's so fun, to demystifying, so who figured this out and how? Whose idea? What, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's nuts when you break down these technologies. It's just oh, that makes sense to me. Right. It's like when you figure out, was that you? Somebody was telling me that about their car the other day. Was that you? Maybe not. They're just it freaks me out how when you figure out how simple a car is, you're oh, this is just a system of pulleys and latches and systems. But same thing with things like ray tracing is oh, what was the idea? So either way, I want to dig into that. I'm going to skip ahead actually real quick just to Half-Life 2 RTX because I think that's the same thing. My thought is RTX has something to do with ray tracing X. And so either way, briefly, they just were able to bring back Half-Life 2 with this RTX version where they just added ray tracing and added some more depth. So they just updated the visuals. It's like a remastered version of an old great game. But you know how I feel about this. Like, can we up level? You know, they did the up level of GoldenEye, which was cool, but they missed it was a cult hit, but they missed the core, the fundamental part that made that so great was like the 4-player action when we used to play around the TV. So like in today's gaming where it's online, we don't really do that. So it wasn't as big a hit as they maybe thought it would be. So the multiplayer games are one thing. Give me like Metal Gear Solid though. Give me old games that I could. Give me Zelda. Is that crazy? Can you even do that?
With Unreal Engine 5, Zelda, can you imagine?
Is that dumb? Like, can I have like Ocarina of Time and Unreal Engine 5? Is that stupid? I will pay you $250 for that. That'd be a weird rollout, but I'd do it. So either way, they brought back Half-Life 2, and that was debuted at Gamescom. So another piece of the big news. Something I skipped over when I covered this that I wonder if you guys know anything about. Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Also, Anton, do you have something
Anton.
to say about ray tracing?
No.
Okay, you look very interested. Black Myth Wukong. So yeah, I hadn't seen this, but again, when you look at it, it's very recognizable because again, it's from one of those legendary stories in China. It's got monkey. What does anybody know the story I'm talking about?
No, but
not too
I've seen
much.
this for like over a year or so now.
It's based on the 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West. That's what it is. So yeah, It's again they were saying it's like one of the 4 great novels of Chinese literature, and again, it's from the 1500s. So I mean, this shit is very, very old. This 500-600-year-old story. So I don't think we have to worry too much about the lore. I bet you the lore is pretty fucking solid, but we'll have to see about the game. Either way, it looks cool. Apparently, they don't know a ton about it though. Not that many people have played it. Looks like it's being developed in Asia. So don't know a ton, but they did debut a bit of an extended look. So hype is building for Black Myth Wukong. Anything you guys want to add on that? Looks cool.
No, this game looks insane.
It's
Yeah,
like Souls.
yeah. I've been watching previews on this for a while, but I never caught the story. I feel like I was mixing this up with something else, but
You know, it would be fun. I was thinking about it when I was watching this trailer. Is like there's a boom a little bit in the like Asian genre of games, right? There's been a couple or a few recently that have been really dope coming out. And then I was thinking, like, actually, that's not new at all. Like, fucking Dynasty Warriors was my shit. Like, that was my shit. Like, it's like, oh, I wonder. Shinobi was right. How many games can we go back? Is like, I wonder how fun it would be to like create a list. Like, what are the best like Asia-based games? Wow, that looks cool as fuck. Look at that tiger. It looks like Kung Fu Panda, but like in Unreal Engine. Either way, it'd be cool to make a list. Maybe we'll do that someday. Make a list of the best like Asian inspired games of the last 30 years.
Shad, what was the one we played? The Samurai?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that was.
They're about to make that
Dead
a
or
movie.
Alive beach volleyball.
Oh my god!
Different game. My bad.
Top 5 for sure.
Top 5 for sure. Oh goodness.
Hey.
I did want to chat briefly again. This was maybe some of the biggest news for people that came out through. They debuted the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. Don't hold me to that. I'll check with Anton if that was the debut, but I think that's what they did was the first time they broke it out. I checked out some video of it. It looks amazing, of all things to be jumping out, which has actually been part of their recent kind of comms or some of their recent additions. The weather looks really cool. Like the rain. This is silly. The way the rain is hitting both the metal and the concrete, right? Like the way it's interacting in the wind and stuff. It looks very realistic. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video, but the weather effects look really cool and the campaign looks solid, right? I'm a big fan of the Call of Duty campaigns. That might be my favorite part of them. So either way, did you guys see this and are you hyped, Shad?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it. I'm like you. I love the campaigns. So like anything to make the campaigns more fun and like I guess those variables like with the like environment, nature. I think Battlefield does that really well. So I think they're kind of if they can take that, I like Battlefield a lot. So if they can kind of make Call of Duty more Battlefieldy, I'd be stoked on it.
That's a great call. I think that's what they're doing, right? They're taking those cues and saying, "Hey, our competitor does a great job of this thing we don't do. How do we get there?" And
Right.
they've taken steps to not only integrate it, right? They have the fog and stuff, not only to integrate it
Mhm.
into the game, but also to really like, how do we bring this to life better? How do we innovate there? So interesting, right? They're fucking up sometimes COD League or the Battle Pass or whatever because they're spending time on the rain. But
Yep.
I like it. Anton, thoughts?
Yeah. Two things. So, I actually ended up looking at. So apparently, the Modern Warfare 3. The reason why they rolled it out was because a Monster Energy rep apparently accidentally leaked it.
Was this were they a voice actor?
Apparently, because they're a big partner with Monster, and I guess some rep there took a picture of it,
Oh,
not knowing that it was still
stupid.
confidential, and posted it. And so then they're like, "Oh, I guess we got to roll it out." And so that's part of the reason why the
Okay.
loadout or the rollout even happened to begin with. And then also,
Hats off to them for like being like, well, fuck it, we'll do it at Gamescom then, right?
Yeah, facts.
I should have looked this
Go
up too
for
to
it.
confirm, but this other I was watching a video on the new, because season 6 is supposed to come soon, and and apparently, kind of relative to the campaign, with this guy I was watching, shout out DK Dynamite. He mentioned how there's a video online of like with over 100,000 views of people trying to find the campaign on Modern Warfare 2. And so they're like, yeah, so if that's any kind of notion to how confusing your UI is, on top of probably maybe the lack of interest in it, you guys have a video online with over 100,000 views of people just trying to find the campaign in general. So maybe pay attention to that.
Goodness.
But I mean, I'm
Well,
sorry, kind of to get back to the game though. I mean, I am excited for it though. I mean, it looks. I'm happy that they confirmed that a lot of the stuff is carrying over, especially so soon, because this was supposed to be like their big fucking like
the big
how much
one.
did it sell? It was like the record breaking Call of Duty, and then a year later they're like, oh yeah, and then we got an extension of it.
Not even a year later. I mean, hey, look,
Yeah,
they're not hurting for money. People are trying to be like them,
right.
and their competitors keep fucking it. So,
But everybody's happy because apparently they confirmed Verdansk, the big um battle royale map from the first one. They're bringing it back, so a lot of people are
it's
very
so
happy
funny.
about
Remember,
that.
niggas like fuck Verdansk, get anything but Verdansk, and now it's like if we could just have Verdansk back, that'd be great.
Maybe we can have
That
a
shit
little bit
turned
of
around
that
quick.
Verdansk, please.
Y'all got some of that.
Right, but
Uh,
but a lot of the things are carrying forward. I can't help but laugh looking at Call of Duty, because I feel like this is something that we used to just clown on. Like, what the fuck is Call of Duty with Godzilla running around and Attack on Titan and all these
Ghostface.
other niggas and Ghostface and all this other shit? And bro, I loaded in, and I mean, I'm sure.
Oh God, you
I don't think.
seen?
Have you seen who the latest operator was? Was 21 Savage?
Mhm.
I thought you was gonna say Nicki Minaj for sure, but yeah, I see
Oh, I
21, and
was gonna get
somebody
that.
else is in there too.
Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop
Snoop again, by the way, to put it out there.
again.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
again.
The two time.
Right. So
Snoop and
Snoop,
Doc, that's a
Snoop,
pairing.
I can kind of understand. You know what I mean? As like a phase rep, and he'd be video gaming. I get Snoop, but I'm sorry, Nicki Minaj and 21 are the two. I can't. I'm like,
21 looks crazy. That's weird. It's weird to me that the one that sticks out more than Nicki Minaj is 21 Savage. I don't know what world we live in where I'm like, that one I get, but this is he's like wearing a hat, right? I seen
it's
an image of like, all right, sure.
it's just him in some 501s and like a backwards hat, dude. Like that's it. Like he's just and like some Vans. It's super basic. I was really confused. The guns, the
There's
blueprints or whatever. There's nothing exciting to
oh,
me. I don't. His voice lines are very basic. I don't. But
I get conspiracy hat with that shit. Again, I'm like, don't be putting these men out there like that, make glorifying that type of violence and shit. All right, well, either way, we'll see how that goes. It's coming out big, but the big story from Gamescom was the campaign, and that's what I was just going to close with is that the for all we talk about Call of Duty and as popular as it is, Battle Pass, everything, this, that, Nicki Minaj, operators, the campaign is fucking dope. I know so many people, not unlike Adrian, right, or myself, frequently that will buy one of the games and just play the campaign, like old school. Like we buy the game like it's the old days. We just buy the copy and play it through. Like it's not even for the multiplayer experience. It's just a fun game to play straight through. I don't know, 12 hours, not even 8 hours. The games aren't long, but they're a blast for someone like me. It takes me back to like again, like playing SOCOM back in the old days. You know, when you're just trying to make it through the campaign.
Remember in Vanguard when they had the black dude as the squad leader
Oh,
in World War One?
I was gonna be like, no, I don't. Okay, I skipped that one. Honestly, I don't, because I was like, the fuck is that? Okay, all right. So all the campaigns gonna be a hit. You got a point. Okay, I'll just say some of them are pretty solid.
I'm
Quickly, still on Gamescom, we got a couple more. I saw some cool games. I'm gonna skip a bunch of them. One I thought I'd chat about. Chad, Space Trucking Simulator.
I've heard of it. I just don't know.
That sounds like, you know what I mean? That could be in your bag. I'm just putting that out there.
Probably the Starfield killer, dude.
The Starfield kill. I bet you they got their travel shit down right. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
So Space Trucking Simulator came out quickly. I did drop a link in there, Shad, if you see it next to awards. Again, Gamescom had their annual awards. So quickly just running through those from the Hollywood Reporter, this one actually. Full list of Gamescom 2023 winners. Best trailer announcement, Little Nightmares 3. I skipped that, but it looks pretty cool. Best Microsoft game, Mortal Kombat 1. Best Switch game, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Best PlayStation game, Tekken 8. I skipped that, but I want to talk about Tekken. I'm going to buy that this year. Best mobile game, Sky, Children of the Light. That sounds like Game of Thrones. Best visuals, Black Myth Wukong. Hey, all right, back to that. Best audio, again, The Legend of Zelda. No surprise, I keep telling you guys, Game of the Year. It's like you're talking about Starfield. It's like you're talking about. Best gameplay, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Whoa, surprise, what? Most entertaining, Payday 3. What's that? Most epic, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Come on now. Most wholesome, Pikmin 4. Games for Impact, again, Sky, Children of the Light. Is that a religious game? Best announcement, Little Nightmares 3. Best of the show floor, Bandai Namco. Heart of Gaming Award, I don't know what that means. And Studio of the Year, Xbox. All right, shout, go for it. Anything in there surprise you? Anybody missing?
No. I mean, we'll get into it, but that's where honestly where I heard of Payday 3 because I was like, the fuck is that? But we'll get into that.
I think again from what it looks like here, I think these are the awards of just their event.
Mm-hmm.
So fair enough. So cool. We'll check it out. Back to the notes. Oh yeah, Sonic looks kind of cool. I'll put that the 3D Sonic game. Anything else you guys got on Gamescom before I take it away or close it out rather?
No.
Nope. All good. Well, just again for me, it was really impactful. I think as you know, now that E3 is gone, right? We alluded to that, but now that E3 is gone, this really is the show, right? This is the big show of the year. Maybe we can check it out next year, but they did a great job. They stuck the landing. I feel like almost without any individual huge, like what was the huge announcement here, right? Like what was the Starfield? What was the Spider-Man? You know how the studios keep, or the big conglomerate, they're like, we're going to hold our one thing for us and we're going to blow it out with this. Even Nintendo, what's the Zelda, right? They didn't have any one big thing, but I still feel like they crushed it in terms of the way they curated this whole event, right? They did a great job. They broke important news, things that snuck through and really shined through. So I'm excited about it, and shouts to Gamescom.
You know, I'm sorry. I said no, and then instantly a thought came to me, and I was like, you know what, actually, no, I agree with you in that aspect because I was like, no, and then I thought about it. You know what, like, yeah, without E3, you know, like, what other recognition do you really get as a gaming company or for your project or you know for your team or whatever, you know? So I mean, it definitely seems cool, seemed like a good fun time for everyone to come out, just appreciate each other. Again, there's no announcements. It didn't feel like a competition. Oh, I mean, even though it was like an award show, don't get me wrong, but like it didn't feel like anyone was going there.
But it was
like you know,
even
and
like
waving
their
their
own
dick,
awards, right?
yeah, like you know, like I got the next big thing. Like everyone just came to just kind of just, you know what I mean, take their jacket off and just chill out and get it, and just all right, you want like I haven't heard anything negative about it. It just seemed kind of pretty straightforward. It seemed like kind of a relief, honestly. Like
Right, they just threw a good party.
it wasn't cheesy or nothing. You know what I mean? It was just straightforward. So yeah, all good. I feel like we need stuff like this, man.
I could not agree anymore. It gave me a good idea. I wrote down. All right, cool. We'll slide through. We got a couple of extra things. Those are the major topics, but we got some other stuff there I thought we'd take a peek at. Real quick, Anton, there's some games coming. Did you want to just run through some of these things you have on the calendar?
Yeah, really quick. I saw that they were coming this month. I thought were interesting. I had to add this one. This is Chad. This is your game, right? Harvest Moon. I believe they have a new one coming, The Winds of Anthos, and there's even a trailer. So we'll get into that a little more later. Again, kind of piggybacking Payday 3 that I had mentioned. I'd heard of that they won an award, and then I saw that they had an interesting rollout. I'm sorry. I should have got the link. I meant to go back and get it
I
for
do
their
remember this game. Okay, my bad. I thought this
for
might
the
be what I thought
release.
it was.
I don't know if I'm sure we could find it really quick, but for the release, they had like the mask character at a bank, and it was like that's how you got your game or your early release. It was almost like a bank robbery release. Like everyone is in a line and a guy's just throwing duffel bags to people online, and that's how they got. So I was like, that's a pretty interesting. They were in full character for the game. Here, let me put this for you guys.
I'm looking around for it. You keep going. I'll see if we can. Or maybe Chad's got it already. Go ahead.
Let me see here. Yeah, so I thought that was
I guess
pretty cool.
Ice-T is in the game.
And yeah, and I've seen some streaming of it. It seemed like a fun. So I'm gonna get on this for a second. It seemed just like a fun kind of like multiplayer because it's all bank robbery. So it's like all three of us could play and we'd all have different jobs. And so like you two got to go on the
Like
front.
a GTA, but just that, right?
Right, but imagine the heists are like it's only just strictly the heist. Not
Right, I was gonna say it's like
but,
just the heist part of GTA, so they're able to build really into that. That's kind of dope.
Yeah, like
check
a
out that link I just dropped in there if you have a second.
So it's essentially like bank robber simulator.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
Why don't they just call games what they are? It's like, Chad, you on it, boy.
Release.
I would play the fuck out of Bank Robber Simulator.
Where the fuck did I see that video? Damn it.
Actually, speaking of that, wait, Chad, did you see that link I put in there?
Yeah, it should be sending it right now. Is it this one?
Yeah, scroll to the top for me, maybe. If that's it. Yeah, all the way to the top. Or I can't see it. Payday 3 devs spoke to real bank robbers to help get into the mind of a criminal. It is Bank Robber Simulator, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, great call.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, but why can I not fucking find this video? It was cool, but anyways, yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I let that look kind of fun. And then Lies of P, I know we've mentioned before too, which is supposed to be that like dark Pinocchio game.
Yeah,
that's coming. I don't know if you've seen any gameplay.
Fair
on
enough.
that.
Pinocchio's dark as fuck, anyways. I think
You
you
can download the demo for it too. There's a demo
real
out
boy,
if you wanted to play it.
Oh,
leave the kids alone.
Yeah, so
What's
I
that
thought
movie? Niggas, Sound of Freedom.
Oh my god! But yeah, Lies of P, I thought was pretty interesting. Go check that out. The Crew is dropping another big massive game that they're trying to compete with Forza with, but the niggas ain't got nothing, bro. But I thought still deserve a shout out. The Crew is pretty cool. Motorfest, that's coming this month. Sorry, I missed the date on that. And then again, like we mentioned, the Cyberpunk DLC. Did we mention Big Daddy Idris was in that?
Yeah, someone else too.
Go ahead.
Somebody else too.
Yeah, Big Daddy Idris made the crossover. He's like a big role in the new Cyberpunk DLC.
My boy Luther. Well, I'm holding out to get into it. Quickly, Shad, do you want to maybe take us into what did not make the show?
Yeah. What didn't make the show this week? We have the PS Portal. We have Armor Core 6, Path of Exile 2, Diablo Killer, Baldur's Gate 3 and their wild reviews, Tyreek Hill playing football on Fortnite, new season, shout out K-Baby / Lameskin.
Hey, so Anton fucks up the spelling. Okay, baby / Cabby Lane. No, all good. That's how it goes. We're just back from summer break. All right, give us a minute. We're getting up to speed. Couple of things going on in here. I'm gonna jump in quickly if we can. PS Portal. That was some news. I'm gonna be honest. Could I be super clear? After I produced the episode, I was like, shit. PS Portal probably could have been one of our big topics, but we don't need to spend too long on it because we've talked about this, honestly, I think 2 other times already. We know what it is. We know about the headphones. I am going to let Shad go first because I know he's got feelings. Shad, PS Portal.
Yo, that is the wackest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. There's a Steam Deck that exists. Anyone who's like, oh my God, I'm getting a PS Portal. Bro, shut up. It's not even a PSP, dude. I've had a PS Portal this whole time on the iPad Pro. I'm yelling, Lynn. I don't care. I'm over the PS Pro or the PS Portal. It is the dumbest thing I have ever. $200? That should be $100, bro. I can go buy something right now for $60 on Temu, 20,000 games, all the consoles for $60. $200 just to sit in a random truck stop, dude.
Temu.
I know niggas at Temu. Damn.
No, dude. No, I think it's just a waste of time, waste of money. Give us the earbuds, give us like a better controller, one that doesn't get stick drift. Who cares about this when we can just remote access from our iPad Pro M2 chip?
That's what I was gonna say. What's legitimately the difference between this and just Bluetoothing to your iPad and just playing off that?
Yeah, no, there's no difference. It's literally just like I mean, here's the thing. I probably still buy it because like Sony products, you know what I mean? But do you think I'm going to play it? Do you think I play my Oculus? That shit is the biggest paperweight I have, dude. Like, it's just hanging out. Like, I would just much rather do this. So much better. But I don't know. That's just how I feel about the pit. Damn, I'm sweating right now. Oh my God, my blood pressure.
The boy's heated, like United lost in the 98th minute or something like that. All right. Quickly, I heard a little bit of Anton's opinion. I was gonna go in and see what you think too, as like the middle party here, but I heard a little bit from you. I am just, I'm just as excited. You read whatever's on the screen, Chad. I am just as excited, or as I said I was before, about this coming out. I think this is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be fucking game changing. I think people are going to love it. It's going to make a shit ton of money. Xbox is going to make one. Everyone's going to make one because it's. But either way, I recognize it's not what people thought. It's not a PlayStation Switch. It's not a PlayStation Steam Deck, and I get it.
Yeah.
And for some people that, again, if you don't have a gaming podcast where you didn't look at all the leaks and reviews and shit and find out exactly what this was 3 months ago, maybe you're like, what the fuck? We already knew this. We talked about it. This is not a mobile PlayStation thing. This is so I can, in my house, not take the TV away from my kids or my wife, or even if we want to watch The Love is Blind or whatever, but I can sit in bed and I play a lot of Zelda or Switch or whatever because I'm doing that. But now I could play FIFA or whatever with, maybe not as competitive, but maybe FIFA with the boys, depending on that stick drift. Or even, and what's most impactful for me is I could play career FIFA and talk to the boyos. I'm just not in the chat a lot. And again, while we have the technology to do that, I have literally not one single time, other than maybe to test it. I've never actually just plugged my controller in and played PlayStation on my iPad. I have all the systems and components for it. I just don't do it. I think there's something missing from that. Like, can I just pick it up and go? Like, is that what this does, right? We were just talking about Payday, how it took one key component of what the big GTA game is, and it's like, I'm going to do that really well. That's what I think this can do, right? It's not that you can't play on your iPad, but your iPad does a ton of shit. This is like Payday. It's like, no, we're going to do just playing the PlayStation in your house, but not on the TV. That's all we do. It's you're still in the house. It's still your PlayStation. This is not a cheaper entryway in. This is just a way to extend the PlayStation experience for those of you that already have it. And for that reason, this for me is going to take my PlayStation game time way up. I'm going to have so much more time. Like I said, my PS is downstairs. If I want to go upstairs and I'm in bed or in my office or something like that, I'm not playing with the guys because I have the Xbox upstairs. But now my wife can play the Xbox. I can sit next to her, which is a lot more important to me than video games, is sitting next to my wife the way she'd like me to. So I can sit next to her over there and I can still maybe play with the boys. And that to me is awesome.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm washed, boyos. I'm washed.
Fair enough. I sorry to kind of jump back to it, but I did add that Payday 3 link in the games really quick if you guys want to check that.
They went oh, this is the release event.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had looks like consumers show up. Okay, they go up into a bank and they had these guys. It looks like the Dark Knight. It's so man, it's so funny. I guess it's fair. All these guys have their cell phones out, which again, it's fair. But I'm like, put your phone down. Look, you're messing the thing up. But to get your package, the DLC, not DLC, but the seating package, like with the game and whatever merch and stuff you got, was in a duffel bag, and they have the bank heist people in the masks, like literally tossing the bag at you, like go go go, like you're going through and robbing a bank. That was pretty cool and worth tracking down. If we're good on PS Portal, Armored Core 6, anything?
I haven't played that yet. I've been on Starfield and FIFA, but Anton, I know
The
you've been
old
on that. I've
ones were
been
dope.
watching you.
Love me a Gundam.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about character creation, bro, you want to talk about mech creation on that game?
Ah,
Wild,
Oh my,
huh?
oh my god, insane, man, insane. I mean, I can't even think of anything compared to it. It's a lot. It's gotten a lot of reviews, and sorry, just a kind of quick, because people like maybe their first like from soft game was Elden. I mean, for me, it was Elden Ring, and then from there, I did like a dive back into like Souls like games. This is not a Souls like game, whatever, and they've been very clear about that. But it's just different. It's fun. I mean, I just like going around blowing up shit and fighting people. I mean, the bosses in this game are very from soft. I mean, I guess I could say. I mean, bro, the tutorial boss had me for a fucking day, man. I was like, what the
ah,
fuck is this shit, man? But
gotta learn how to fly.
yeah, but I'm sorry. That's why I wanted to kind of circle back to kind of like what you said earlier about. Didn't you said something about games being hard again, right? Or
Yeah, oh yeah.
and that's I think kind of what the big argument on this game is. A lot of people have been saying, it's like, dude, this game isn't for everybody. Just because, or I forgot, it was Asmongold. I think that had a take on it that I've agreed with a lot. He was like, just because you're not good at a game doesn't mean that it's a bad game. And he's like, like I feel like a lot of people just get this connotation just because they see somebody playing it and they want to pick it up and be good at it, and they're not good at it, and so they think the game is bad. That's not the case. And he's like for me, Apex. He's like, I love Apex. Apex is one of the greatest games, lore wise, gameplay wise, out there. He's like, but I'm terrible at it. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's an awesome game. I'm just not good at it, and that's okay. And he's like, I don't know why people just can't like,
This
you
game
know what?
sucks. Right.
Right, like you're not gonna be good at everything. Other people are, and then especially on from software games, people try just diving head first into this boss, like trying to do it their way, and wasn't out. He is like for games like this, and I feel like Diablo is kind of the same. It's like they will let you. It's like 2 plus 2 is 4, but you can get to 4 however you want, but 4 is going to be the end game. You could do
Yeah.
2 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 10 minus 6, 100, it doesn't matter. But regardless how you do it, you can get there, and that's kind of the fun of it. But people think, get lost in that and try to do it their own way, and it's like that doesn't make it bad or lost, and you know what I mean. It's at the hidden root of a lot of these games. There are easy ways to cheese it and beat the game without even trying at all. But that's part of the fun that they add this open. You could do whatever you want. You can get there however you want. But I mean, if you want to do it that way, it's going to be a little longer. But yeah, and I hope that makes sense.
To
But
me, it's like reading a book on Spark Notes. It's like, oh no, I read that book. I watched the Spark Notes, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I get like there are ways to get the story. Like, sure, you got it, but like, every book isn't for everyone. And so it's like
right.
if you're like, I read all the books, I read the whole library. It's like, no. Again, the games that you love, the games, the sports you get good at, are the ones you spend time with. There's an element of having talent, but it's really about where you spend your time, and that's something that we all have the same amount of. Right.
Mhm.
So it's like you can only be so good at so many things. I love basketball. I have not played a competitive basketball game in some years.
Mhm.
I'm not good. That's fine. Doesn't mean that the game is any less appealing. So again, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to kind of go off, but long story short,
No,
that's
great
what I
take.
mean. I feel like it. A lot of people just kind of need to turn that page. And then
Great take.
lastly,
Great take.
I mean, we can kind of get into these later. I wanted to really dive in because I'd never even heard of these games. Was Path of Exile 2? That that again, I know that we've been back in Diablo. We're Diablo boys, but when we get into that, that looks very interesting. Actually, that's a very very similar game, like RPG type, shit. But I don't know.
Let's
It,
put
it
it
may be up there
on
with
the
them.
radar.
And then Baldur's Gate 3. I have
Ooh,
just
Baldur's
seen.
Gate.
I guess it's a
Ooh,
Dungeons and Dragons type beat, but I've
yeah,
been
buddy.
seeing some wild shit online with I guess the things that you niggas are fucking demons and doing some crazy shit in that game.
Bears. You can
So
fuck a bear.
yeah,
Not like
yeah,
not like a dude who's hairy, but like a legit bear.
Well,
yeah,
that's the type of game Shad's into. Well, we'll get to that too. Also on the radar, we've
yeah,
talked about it, but we'll make sure to do some deeper dives on Path of Exile and Baldur's Gate. We'll get there.
yeah. But yeah,
I'm
that what did
thinking
make the show.
that right. That's some good stuff that didn't make the show. Shad, you want to toss up this Harvest Moon trailer and maybe open up some Just Talking? I'm hyping Harvest Moon.
I'm super hyped. I'm always hyped.
It's for PS5, I believe. Is it PlayStation only?
Yeah, I don't know. Good
Harvest
question.
Moon, the
5 and
PS
4
exclusive.
or what is
I feel like I started playing this on Nintendo way back when. That's weird to me.
I think it was Harvest Moon 4 Seasons or something like that.
This is a weird PlayStation exclusive. If this isn't exclusive, that's weird for me. This feels like it should definitely be on. It looks like Pokemon or what's that? What's that 3D Pokemon? Arceus Legends. It looks like Arceus.
Wow.
It's Harvest Moon Arceus.
Look at
Oh wow.
Oh, you see the horse? Fuck with the horse.
Oh
man.
Oh.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I gotta be honest. I grew up playing this game and I love it. Chad, this is one of those games we connect on and go back. Looks dumb as shit. Looks fantastic. If you know what Harvest Moon is, this is right down the line, and you should be very interested. If you don't know what Harvest Moon is, this game probably looks really dumb. Pokemon Arceus without the Pokemon.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's Pokemon without the Pokemon.
Yeah, it looks like just like Pokemon without the Pokemon. Again, I'd be watching this trailer like, so what do you do though? This is like this person's walking. It looks like a lot of trying to get to a quest, but there's not a fight. There's not any drama. There's not any animals. You're not catching anyone. No, you have dinner with people. There are crops. You go into the town square.
You can marry somebody, have kids.
You get married if you fall in love. Have kids. Shad, you said that's so sweet. You get married, have kids. You can fuck a bear. Maybe you can fuck that bear.
You can fuck an Asian bear, apparently. They said Asian bear.
Asian black bear. You know what I mean? It's that big bear seed. I'm going to leave that where it is.
Oh, my
all right,
God. Why? What was his name? What was it? Cuba Gooding Jr.? What was that hot take of him in the club? You remember that shit?
When he has the hat on or whatever? Oh, goodness. He's the man. Legend.
Woo!
Legend.
Anyways.
Quickly, we added another segment for it. Just a couple of just talking things to cover there. I deleted because we talked about EAFC. Unless, Chad, there's anything else you want to say about EA Sports FC, your experience thus far. Did we talk about that? Or was that us before the pod?
I think was us before the pod.
Anton, did we talk about EA Sports FC and Chad's experience? Never mind, take it away.
A lot of people are asking me about the game, like, is it new? Is it better? And I'm like, honestly, I think it's better. I think every season or every new season of FIFA that comes out is always a little bit better, at least 1%. In this, I definitely like what they did. The manager career is cool. The player career is cool. I'm doing a career with Garnacho. He's like an overall 69. It's tight. Stoked on it.
So that goal that got called off hurt even more.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. It hurt
that hurt bad. He took that personal.
I was like, oh, no. And then the seasons, honestly, I really like a lot. Like, I think seasons has like a matchmaking issue a lot of the times. And I think with even just beta, I've been matchmaking with like very like-minded other players. There's only like 1,000 people playing it. Like when you're in seasons, there's not very many, but everyone I'm playing is like a good game, and like nobody's quitting either. So everyone's like staying in for the long haul. So I'll be up like 5-1 and nobody will quit. They're like actually staying the whole games. So it's nice to see like a nobility with people who are playing seasons. Cause if I beat somebody 3-1, you can still come back, but they'll just quit. And it just gets boring.
Should be like, I wonder if that exists maybe, but there should be like, you know how in Uber, if you're a shitty like rider, you get a bad rating. There should be like not even like a rating system, but like an algorithm, right? Like if you quit so many games, and I know like disconnection or whatever, but like if you could tell, right? If you quit so many games that you get matched with more people like you, if that makes sense. Not even that you have more of a lag, but just the people that stick it out. You get to play with more people that stick it out. My first thought was like, if you could capture all the people that got the code and like only play against each other all the time, you'd probably have a way better experience, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. EA or EAFC. The bad sport lobbies. The crybaby lobbies.
I made my own team on the career, and that's cool because you can make your own that's what I did. It was Real San Diego. Just Real San Diego. I wanted
to play in La Liga.
Yeah, well, no, it's who did I switch? I switched out somebody from Division 2 English football, and I'm trying to get to the Premier League. So I think it was like some random, so something like Transbury Lane or Brandsbury, something like that. I don't know.
Not Luton.
Anybody see that boy Oscar? Not Luton. Them boys in the Prem. Anybody see my boy Oscar Bob?
Cheddar Bob?
Cheddar Bob, Oscar Bob, you heard the name here first. You see how City let Cole Palmer go? They're like, all right, that's why.
Oh.
They're like, no, he's all right. He's been the MVP of our U21s the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
But they finally gave him the call up. That boy nice. That boy nice. Pep got a black kid in the midfield. Yeah. Finally. Quickly, one other thing we were going to say just for Colorado. Talk about black kids inside, right? Shad, so Deion Sanders, one of the greatest football players of all time, the swaggiest guy of all time, invented football swag and probably is the reason I'm wearing 3 chains right now. Deion is now the head coach at Colorado. He went over and was coaching at HBCUs. Came over to Colorado. Big drama because he got there and like basically kicked out all the white kids.
Didn't he bring like 86 of his players or something with him?
Yeah, the team was like 1-11. He got there and was like, well, and they're like, nepotism. And he's like, yeah. Like y'all do. Like, why do you think this team looks like Colorado? Because what the either way, it's my team. So they came out and they beat the runner-up from last year, and it's huge. They were 20-point underdogs in terms of the bet. I should have I would have bet the hell out of that if I was paying attention. I would have bet that for sure, just because I love Prime. Man, I would have made so much money. But they were 20-point underdogs, and they beat them niggas. His son is the quarterback.
Oh wow!
His actual son is the quarterback. Out. And he set the record for the most passing yards that a team has that team has ever had for a quarterback for Colorado ever in his first game there ever.
And
it's like literally his blood son. His other blood son plays corner on defense, so he had 2 sons playing on the team. He has this other guy that's just like so. Deion back in the day he's the ultimate athlete. He's the best athlete maybe ever. He could play both ways in the NFL on offense and defense. He also played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Braves at the same time, the baseball team. He used to play a football game and then fly in a helicopter over to the Braves Stadium and play a baseball game. Only guy that he won a World Series and a Super Bowl, like boom, boom. He played on the Cowboys in the 90s. This guy's the fucking man, right? He has a player right now, and like you don't do that shit anymore. That's some old Deion in the 80s, 90s shit. He has a player on his team that he's the best player in the country. He's going to win the Heisman. I guarantee it. I'm going to set him up for it. So fuck it. He's playing both ways. He lets this kid play both ways. Yeah, Travis Hunter. He lets this kid play receiver and corner on defense. This kid last night, I think he had a touchdown. He had over 100 yards receiving. He dropped 2 more touchdowns that were like 50-yard bombs. He also had an interception on defense, shut down the whole side of the field, and dropped 2 more interceptions. If he could just catch, my boy would have had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions yesterday. These are all different storylines from the same game. It was nuts. They went into Dallas, Texas, and beat TCU and it was a thriller.
And 4 receivers with over 100 yards receiving.
It was a thriller. It went down. It was like, who's going to have the ball last?
I think I know why I know about this. Lynn's dad was telling me about this yesterday. He was like, "Did you hear about it?"
It was nuts.
And he was like, "It's crazy what's happening." And he even said, he's like, "It's not nepotism. That's what I would do." And I was just like,
"It's not." Look, he did what it took to win the game. But players are doing shit like going to not the biggest school. We talk about player empowerment. They're going to not the biggest school because they want to play for him, and it's it brings results, right? It's like at the end of the day, the players are the ones that can make these decisions. If the better players want to go to it, that's what Tom Brady was doing. That's what Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce do, right? At the end of the day, if you create an environment where they want to be, that's why City is so good. People are like, oh, they got all the money. So does Chelsea. Niggas want to play for Pep. We got Haaland for $69 million. He didn't care. He could have got way more money. He's like, no, I want to go be the very best. People come, all the players we signed, they want to come because they want to be the best version of themselves, and they believe Pep can do that for them. Mm-hmm. So, just create a better environment. So either way, I'm hyped on Colorado. That's the new black people team, which is so funny because it's in Colorado. They're called the Buffaloes. But niggas about to be pulling up and making that shit a whole sideshow. Anton, did you want to say anything about Prime?
I just always think of, I'm sure there's different terms or whatever. People could always think of it, but I always think of the heat culture. You know what I mean?
Right, just like that. Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley.
And if you're unfamiliar with it, it's just a selflessness. It's just like a top. I feel like the culture is just like a selflessness. It's all about the team. There's no individual. Mm-hmm. We're all here a team. We're all here to sacrifice for each other, for the heat, for the for the fans. I could be saying it. I'm kind of summarizing, but ultimately, you know what I mean. It's just there is no superstar. We're all here together to sacrifice and so forth. Granted, I feel like Jimmy Butler is the superstar on the team. Don't get me wrong, but even then, he is.
But he's like the
humble.
most muted superstar, right?
Yeah,
of all superstars, he's the quietest.
Yeah, I mean, he'll drop 30 points in a game and drop a game winner, and then afterwards be like, "Why are you guys interviewing me?" He's the one that did, you know what I mean? Like,
right, he does his talking on the court.
Right. So kind of like that, like a humbleness, and don't kind of get lost in the sauce. I mean, I feel like, to kind of sum it up. But yeah,
that's what it is. Like, we'll do our plan talking on the field, and then right afterwards we'll put it in your face, and then back to work.
Because I remember Holland, he did that after the Champions League when he was talking with Henry. I don't know if you guys saw that interview. The first thing he did after the Champions League, he went over and he was talking with Thierry, and he asked them, "Hey man, so what do you think? Is there anything I could have done better?" It's like, this nigga's just coming off of 38 what was it, 36 38 goals and winning a treble, and the first thing you do after winning a treble is asking, how could I be, like, you know what I mean? Like, if that isn't humble,
that's that Pep mindset, bro. Right?
Yeah.
We're always trying to get better. You have an opportunity to talk to a GOAT. I saw a meme or something like that had Pep with like all the trophies. It's like, this nigga won a treble or won like 6 trophies over this year or whatever, and still spent $250 million in the transfer window. I was like, what else do you want, bro? It's like, greatness. I don't know, bro. That man wants to go for it. Great in that environment.
That's a tough position to fill too, especially with Gundogan and KDB out. Those are some big shoes to fill.
You know who looks amazing is Kovacic. Like, that guy gets it.
Yeah.
You could tell Pep was like, this guy is like my kind of player. For all the talent Chelsea brought in, cool, take him. I'll take Kovacic. Like, easy.
That was one of their best signings, honestly. Chelsea back in the day.
He played some balls yesterday.
Yeah, dude. He's good.
He played some balls yesterday. And again, he's so strong defensively. But being able to, you guys know, obviously I play FIFA with them a lot. I do some wild lineups. I think you guys heard me say that like 6, 7, 8 months ago. They're like, oh, who's the best winger in the Premier League? Julian Alvarez. Now he's at wing. I'm like, oh, that boy is nice. We got to get Phil Foden in the midfield with De Bruyne. Just wait. City's loading right now. But when them boys start to gel, that boy Nunez is nice. That boy Doku is nice. I'm hyped.
Doku's a steal too.
He's nice, bro.
He's gonna be a steal for you guys. I was
again being able to mix these guys in, Doku and Grealish at the wing, moving. I'll take him over Mahrez for sure. I'm super hyped on this season. Right now, everything else is gravy. We're missing we don't even have Pep. We won all 3 games without Pep, or both matches without him
because of his back injury or something, back surgery.
So I was telling my wife, I was like, oh yeah, no, I was like, she knows the guys. I was like, oh no, we don't have Kevin, we don't have Pep. We'll see how it goes. This nigga's put up 5 goals. Quickly though, TV corner. I did want to jump in there. Anton, Ashoka. Want to talk a little TV?
You know what, bro? I can't even summarize this quick, to be completely honest. The Star Wars in my cells is there's just so much lore in this show, bro. I feel like if you've never, I mean, it's okay. So they're combining. I mean, Dave Filoni is just he's killing it, dude. This is supposed to be kind of like the stepping stone into the new Star Wars movies, right? So I don't know if you're familiar or listener or whoever, but there's supposed to be a new series of Star Wars movies coming out, taking place like after the Skywalker thing. And so like these shows are kind of setting up to explain how Palpatine came back in the latest movies, but then also kind of stepping stone forward. So that's really cool because they're taking the show in a completely different direction. Talking about if you've seen Rebels, the animated show, again at the end of it, Purgles. I don't know.
Purgles.
Yeah, Purgles. Yeah. So they're kind of doing that. They're exploring a whole other galaxy, bringing in a whole different enemy in Thrawn, which is just, I mean, he has a whole backstory, canon books himself, which is just deep.
Is that George Clooney?
No, that's one of the Skarsgård brothers.
Guy, all right.
Yeah,
there's like the older one.
Yeah, you know the Skarsgård. There's like Alexander. I don't know.
I liked it more when it was George Clooney, but all right.
What? But but yeah, dude.
2 minutes ago for me, it was George Clooney. You know what I mean? So
it's deep, dude. I mean, just all the characters they brought. I mean, they have Han Moffat. I mean, all the.
So it's going to be better than Rebel Moon, or this is going to be we're trying to compete with Rebel Moon. What do we think here? Are we still looking out for rated R Star Wars, or is Ashoka coming through?
I think they stopped doing I think this is what they wanted to do instead of the Rebel Moon.
Oh,
I
I thought you were
think.
going to say they canceled Rebel Moon.
Oh no. They Rebel Moon is still, I think, coming out soon. It's gonna be dope.
December.
But no, I think when they went to them, they wanted to do something more with like Rey eventually in the front. I don't know if you guys watched the more recent ones, but it's gonna be her when she's older, like essentially in charge of like the new Jedi Academy. That's gonna be like
the new Jedi Order or whatever they're trying to do. Yeah.
So all the stuff, all the shows, Mandalorian. I mean, if you think about it, in the Mandalorian, little Grogu is a Jedi training to be a Mandalorian. And then in this one, we have, I forget her name, it's not Sabine, but whatever, Lady Ren, whatever. She's training. Sabine. Okay, well, she's a Mandalorian training to be a Jedi. So it's like, why are these two different individual things on two different shows? Like, what's the significance? That's where I'm kind of at. It's like, are we going to get a team up in the future? You know what I'm saying? Like teenage Grogu just able to talk now and with Lady Ren, with Sabine, you know?
That's the rumor with that, because as he's gotten older through the 3 seasons, he's been able to speak more, and like that's
Does he
why
look cool now.
No, it's just his words.
He looks the same. Like a Groot type thing.
Kind of, in a sense, like he just says little words. It was like little noises, but then now he says like little words. He has
he's forming.
Yeah, that he's starting to like form words. But and to kind of sum up the Mandalorian Jedi history, because Sabine Wren comes from the Mandalorian that started all the Mandalorians, Paz Vizsla, who's from like House Vizsla. So she's like a descendant of the only Mandalorian, or I think one of the only few recorded Mandalorians to be like from Jedi training. But then like Shad said, Grogu also trained with Luke and Ahsoka for a bit, who are both obviously from Anakin and from that traditional blood. So yeah, the rumor is that, again, like in some Marvel phased shit, is that Grogu is going to be the next Mandalorian Jedi to like lead bring back Mandalore, and then however they're going to help the new Jedi Order against Thrawn, and then the new, basically, I forget the word, the new order. What is it? The new order, is that what they called it?
The New Republic or something. I think so. New Order, the first order.
The first order. Yeah, the first order, which is like the Sith coming back and so. Yeah, but then that's what this show is highlighting now, because in Rebels, so Darth Maul, like Darth Maul, where he comes from, the planet he comes from is from a different galaxy, and like his mom, and like there are like these like red witches that also use like the Force and like dark magic through the Force. And so that's what they're rumoring, is that that's really big on this season, is those witches and trying to get back home. And so they think that that's going to kind of be the new dark versus light thing, is like these witches. And also, if you watch Rebels, sorry, I'm kind of going off here. There was a very famous Jedi that was trained, Ezra
Bridger,
that got taken with Thrawn. So, again, so they're trying to bring Ezra back, and then Thrawn. And then now they're introducing a new galaxy, and then these pathways, between the Force, kind of like that lower level of being able to like teleport between, the Force and different. And so I don't know. So exactly, yeah.
From Dathomir.
Yeah, and so apparently, and then like these motherfuckers apparently lead into I think you mentioned Ren, the Knights of Ren, which is what was relative to the newer Star Wars movie, which is what Kylo Ren was, because he was the leader of the yeah. So Kylo Ren was the leader of the Rens, and those were all warriors that I believe, I could be wrong, I think on this aspect, I believe they came from that like realm, and so I think it's kind of introducing again like these whole.
Were they Force sensitive, Anton, or no?
Yeah,
they were, right? Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't like Jedi or Sith. They were just Force sensitive, right?
Right.
Got it.
But they're like an elite warrior. Yeah. So that's like so that's why I was like, I don't even know how I can sum this up, because there's so much lore like in this show that like if you didn't watch, you'd be like, what's that? But like Star Wars fans are like, oh shit, like finally. So yeah.
So all that's in this show?
Only in the first 3 episodes, bro. All of that is like, if you know the lore background, all of that is like has been so far introduced. Yeah. On top of like Hera from Rebels, Chopper, the other little robot. I mean, there's so much, dude. There's so much. Even from other Star Wars shows. The father from the little spin-off animated show Resistance, his dad's in it. It's good. They did a good job.
Star Wars Corner is alive and healthy. Again, until they get rid of Disney and start to make good stories, I'm out. I'm out. Fuck them. I'm not watching your Mandalorian thing without like, nigga, if you can't kill somebody or have a sex, you're not a bounty hunter. Go to a bar, a real bar. Don't give me the do. Go to a real fucking bar. Either way, enjoy your Star Wars. Sounds interesting. Ashoka looks cool, but I clearly, that was my worry, is that I'm too far out to get in, and I am too far out to get in. So I don't know what that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
I would definitely watch
Sure,
a summary on
they
that.
did
on
too
YouTube or
much.
something.
They did too much. But it looks really cool, and I hope they figure it out. Rebel Moon, that's my speed. I'm gonna fuck with that. And you've talked me into it. I'm gonna try and watch Ashoka, but I am clearly not gonna know what's really happening.
Yeah, there's a lot going
Be like
on.
that.
Did you
Well,
guys
be ready. I'm gonna call you like I did not do for the Foundation.
I was gonna say about Foundation. Have you guys watched episode 8 at all?
I'm not
Or
caught
are
up.
No,
Okay,
it
okay.
says right there,
I-
up to episode 7.
Oh, I got it.
Put that
Okay,
in the
then I
notes
won't
to
say
make
shit.
sure nobody spoils anything. Other way though, that's another show that's been great. Foundation is amazing. Invasion, you guys said, is good. I might need to check it out.
Really good. I like Invasion a lot.
Dude, it's
I will
been
take a
2 years.
look.
They finally brought that back. The last episode of Invasion was December of 2021, and
What a
it just
cliffhanger.
started airing again. Oh my god, dude!
You watched One Piece, the live action?
I want to.
No. I heard there's cheeks in it though, so just keep your eyes out.
Eyes are always out.
All the cheeks, Oppenheimer. And then I was gonna say about it too. I went to Beyonce the other day. It was nuts.
Oh, lit.
Come on,
Hell
look.
yeah.
Come on.
So what?
My Beyonce was out, checking out Beyonce with all the folks out in SoFi. You know what I mean? We was out there. So, when she comes to your town, go check it out. But you can't because it's too late, nigga.
They already came. She already came. Pause. Unpause.
Ooh, she already came. That's what he said. Go ahead, Shad. My boy. Hey. Oh, I'm hyped. Well, shoot, that was a good long one. I'm enjoying. Ooh, pause. Well, you know what? We're ready to go. It must be Sunday on a 3-day weekend. Before I close it out, Banton, any closing words for us, my guy? What do we got?
Yeah, you'll pause. Yeah, man, we love you
Watch
guys.
Star Wars.
Nah, man, we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks for holding out. Leave comments. Give us the feedback. Anything you think we might have missed, correct us on. Let us know. We love
Catch
it.
us up, Shad. My boy, what you got, Chad?
Follow us, subscribe, like, hit the bell button. Anytime we upload something, if you hit that bell button, you're going to be the first person to see it. And that's what you want to be doing. So, love you guys. It's good to be back.
Until next time, that's all we got. We appreciate it. This has been No Randoms. We out.
No randoms.